Yo, what up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Let's get it. We gonna get it this time. Yeah. Do 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 do. We about to talk some of this good old boxing talk. Make sure I'm straight up here. This is gonna be a fun one. I can't wait. Wait for YouTube to promote us, front page us. Talk that good old boxing talk. Happy Sunday to everybody. Yeah, man, we working. Make sure y'all hit the like button as soon as you join, so YouTube knows it's on and cracking. The faster we do that, the faster we can get into everything, because we'll have the maximum amount of people. Don't have to wait. Repeat. AD, what's up? What's good? When y'all get this, hit the like button. The sooner we do that, the sooner the numbers in the chat grow and we really get it cracking. Because I don't want to repeat myself and then a ton more people show up and then I got to redo it and all that. Like, so hit that like button, smash the like button. Let's get into it. Drop a comment. All that stuff shows the engagement, shows the activity, and it gets us where we need to be. Shout out to Chris. What's up? Yeah, I'm just waiting for people to join, man. Hope everyone had a good weekend. It's been quiet for boxing. I mean, I didn't really see anything. Ego Army, you already know that. Next week's good for boxing. We got the Chris Eubank Jr., George Groves, Brandon Rios, Danny Garcia, Gavril Benavidez too. So we back on track, people. Yeah. I said we back on track. Shout out to Eagle Army, man. YouTube has been going so slow lately. Notification gang, Eagle Army in here. As you guys come in, smash the like button so we can get this on and cracking. Because I don't really want to start. Until we get more people in here. Just so I don't have to repeat it. I don't mind a small crowd, a bigger crowd, but I don't want to have to. What happens is if I start talking now and then I'll answer something, but someone wasn't in the stream at the point in time, so then they'll ask me. And just as a YouTuber, it gets kind of repetitive going over the same thing over and over again when you already went over it. So shout out to Nathaniel. What's good? No, we're going to get into this Charlo situation. Oh, yeah. We're going to get into a lot of things. Yo, as you come in, smash the like button, drop a comment, let me know how y'all living. We just vibing out until Zentumbo, what's good? What's up? JG Farrell, what up? How's everybody doing tonight? I like to see Charlo versus Triple G or Canelo, but is it possible? Yeah, it's on and popping. Anything's possible. I told you guys, for me, I look at it like this. Mayweather and Pacquiao, for at least for my generation, was the pinnacle. You know what I mean? That was the pinnacle. That was the fight that was everybody wanted to see, and it was hard to make for a variety of reasons. Floyd's old promoter, he says Bob Arum owed him money, and he didn't get money from Zab Judah in whatever fights. Bob Arum had trash talked him. Freddie Roach, Pacquiao were suing Floyd. Floyd wanted the drug testing. Pacquiao was afraid of needles. They were on two different networks at a point in time, Showtime and HBO. So to me, if that fight, through all those obstacles, especially early, if that was able to get done, then there's no other fight that's really even fucking with that to compare. So basically what I mean is, like 50 Cent said, what I mean is any fight can get done. period. You mean to tell me top rank, if they truly wanted to match Terrence Crawford with Errol Spence, they can't do it? See, it just has to be the promoters and the teams and the managers all on board and decide, hey, this is what boxing needs, and we're going to put our fighter in a dangerous fight. But yeah, I mean, it is definitely doable. If they made Mayweather Pacquiao with all those hurdles, then you definitely can make any other fight, because no other fight is as big as that. Max Kellerman or Teddy Atlas in terms of analysis? You know what I mean? They're both cool, but honestly, I'll be straight up. I respect both guys. I came up, like, you know what I mean, looking up to and listening to the commentary of both guys. But I feel like they both, over the years, especially more recently, they both kind of switched up, in my opinion, to the point where Teddy Atlas and Max Kellerman, they became victims of being company men. And they started like, you got to remember, back in the day, Max Kellerman was pushing for fights like Rigondeaux and Nonito Donaire, when a lot of casuals were finding excuses for Rigondeaux to not get the opportunity. You feel what I'm saying? And Max Kellerman was giving Rigondeaux his just due credit when people were saying he's boring. But fast forward to the future, now Max Kellerman says some questionable things to me. He said the week, watch First Take, the week of the Pacquiao-Jeff Horn fight, he says he would favor Pacquiao to knock out Floyd Mayweather, right? He would favor him to knock out Floyd Mayweather in a rematch. And then Pacquiao can't even get past Jeff Horn. That's very questionable. He also said that Pacquiao is the best fighter of this generation over Floyd, even though he admits that Floyd Mayweather beat Pacquiao fair and square when they did fight, right? Same thing with Teddy Atlas. Teddy Atlas had Andre Ward and Terrence Crawford live. I was right next to him, live in Pinnacle Bank Arena or whatever, in Lincoln, Nebraska, and he talking about Crawford and Andre Ward behind Vasyl Lomachenko. So to me, both of them have kind of went astray, and their commentary started switching up, and it sounded like they had more company directive. Will Floyd Mayweather sign a 3-fight UFC deal? I don't know, man. I really don't know. You're asking the wrong person. I see all the cryptic messages from Floyd and whatnot. At first, I was like, man, Floyd wouldn't go to the MMA, to Octagon, but he keeps doing these little messages and stuff, so I don't know what he's talking about, to be honest. I didn't think it would happen. I still have my doubts, but shit, money talks. Maybe that's enough to lure him to do something like that. Yeah, man, make sure y'all smash the like button. We about to get in. Let's get the roll call out of the way, because I want to get into this subject matter. I just want to know where y'all at, where y'all from. Drop your city, state, zip code, and then we'll proceed. But you know I got to do my ritual. I'm not answering any questions. Just let me know where you're at. Roll call. Shout out to Brooklyn, Newport News, Virginia, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. California, Bakersfield, Puerto Rico, Jersey, Daly City, Detroit, but I live in Cali, Bmore, Colorado Springs, Mace Landing, New Jersey, Birmingham, UK, Bristol, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Southern California. That's what I'm talking about, man. We got some people from all over. Is that it? Anybody else from any other regions? Connecticut, New York City, baby. Virgin Islands. Virgin Islands probably beautiful. Venice, LA, South Carolina. I'm drinking this Jamba Juice for those who always ask me what I'm drinking. DMV, Florida. Here, while we waiting for a couple more people to show up, look at this, man. What the fuck did Sammy Sosa do to his skin, man? Sammy Sosa done lost it. He messed around and lost it. This is self-hate right there. That man switched his whole complexion. Yeah, baseball player, Sammy Sosa, that's him. He looked like a whole different being. Look at Jesus. I'm gonna show y'all Jesus got that work. Jesus got that work. Oh my gosh. He in the shoulder roll? Hey, he was going ham. Shout out to Big J, man. Hey, what's up with your boy Anderson Silva? This is him. Hey, he wildin', man. I don't know what's gotten into him, but he tripping. Anderson Silva gotta stop playing. Hey, dog, you tripping. That man got heels on. Wildin' for real. That man got ass injections or something. Pause. I don't know what that was about. Somebody sent me that. He tripping. That's not the spider I know. Yeah, man, smash that like button. We cracking up in here. We're gonna talk this boxing. We're gonna do it. I might just fuck around and call it a Sunday session. We're gonna do a Sunday session. You dig? But yeah, that Anderson Silva shit threw me off. Let's talk about something else. But let's talk about this Jermall Charlo, man. Shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation, DBN, new media. He did an interview with Golovkin trainer Abel Sanchez. Check the interview out, and man, this is just disappointing all the way. If you listen to the interview. See, new media be asking them questions. New media be on it. But Dante asked very solid, very good direct questions, and some of them were about Charlo, and there was some tap dancing and sidestepping from Abel Sanchez. Like, and this is how you know when it is, because if you have no shame in your game, if someone asks you a direct question, your answers can be very direct in response. You get what I'm saying? Right? So if you have to, the thing is, people, they don't want to be, it's like they don't want to be victims of entrapment. So what they hear or what they say, they have to carefully pick out and think. So you'll see pauses and delays and sidestepping and not direct answers. You know what I mean? Like if someone says, hey, do you have a full-time job? And I'll be like, yeah. They'll be like, what do you do? I'm a YouTuber. Like, very direct, because I know. I mean, this is my life. This is a very direct question. Now, if, let's say I was a drug dealer or some shit, and they ask me a direct question, and I don't want to give them a direct answer for obvious reasons if I'm slanging, then I'll be like, oh, yeah, check. I have a job, but I work for myself. I can't really get it. You know what I mean? That's when you have to do that. And then Abel Sanchez in this interview, man, it's just disappointing. It's disappointing that there's good fights out there. Let me break it down, man. We about to get it cracking in here, and I promise you guys, this is what I love about the live streaming game, because first of all, I'm the stream king. Y'all already know that, right? Came and integrated this in to the boxing channel, and we do it how we do it. But the thing I love is when I make an individual video, there's comments, there's people that disagree, people that agree, those types of things. And not to sound cocky, but my channel's too big for me to address every single comment that I get. It's not possible. I would be spending every day, every waking moment responding to comments. I can't do that. So the best way that I can give direct Johnny on the spots is through the live stream and the hot seat. You know what I mean? So now you guys have as direct as possible. You have a direct connection to get things off your chest. If everything I'm saying is bullshit, right? Everything I'm saying is bullshit, then we could do a hot seat right now. We could prove it. Because like I said, when I do the individual videos, everybody has something to say and this is bullshit. Okay, prove it's bullshit in front of this audience while we do it. And you know what I'm saying? While we talk in front of everybody. Now, this is the thing. This is the problem I have with Triple G, the way his team is moving currently. And I've said this. To me, and see, let me just say this real quick. In mods, I need my shooters on deck because I know who's a sensitive subject to casuals. Golovkin, Lomachenko, certain people, Pacquiao. You say certain things about certain fighters, not even dogging them, and then all of a sudden they say you hate this fighter or you're racially biased, all this extra shit to deflect from the whole point. And as boxing fans, don't fall for none of the bullshit. Fuck the deflection, fuck the, oh, you're racist, racially biased, and all this. Prove what I'm saying wrong. That's the easiest way. Fuck all that extra shit that you use to divert. So shooters, just be on deck, man. And I got a couple admins here. This is the issue I have with Team Golovkin, like in interviews like the one with Dante, is Team Golovkin, their bluff has been called with various situations. You know what I mean? Meaning they've said certain things publicly, oftentimes more than once, and then when it came time to it, you found out there was more details. There's some fine print, some small print, right? Like when they came in the game, 154 to 168, anybody can get it, can man style, right? And then come to find out, they didn't want to fight Canelo at 154, 155. They wanted him to fight at middleweight because that's where he had the title, which is their option. But don't say you'll fight anyone from 54 to 68. That's your bad. You know what I mean? And then come to find out, you say you'll fight Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather only at 154, namely Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like a strike one, what you said versus the reality. They also fished for fights at 168. No problem. You can't get a fight. You want to test the higher division against Carl Froch, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Those fights didn't manifest. Andre Ward said he'll fight you at 68 before he moved up. Then it got all quiet on the Western Front. So you don't want to fight the man that beat Carl Froch, but you want to fight him, Carl Froch himself, who lost to Ward, and Ward had a bad hand, or Chavez Jr., who's disappointed probably more times than he's impressed in his big fights. You know what I mean? So to me, that is not consistent. Now, nobody would make you move up to 168 if you said you want to become undisputed and you stayed true to that. But the moment you open that floodgate for Carl Froch fights at 68 and Chavez Jr. fights at 68, then the levee is broke. So you have to be ready for the water and people to question what your real motive is. You know what I mean? So that's another issue. Shout out to Zitumbo, $1 super chat to start it off. Shmoney gang. But let's fast forward to more current issues, like Dante Boxing Nation's his interview with Abel Sanchez. I tell you guys the same shit all the time. Listen to what people say then and now. What Abel Sanchez was saying is basically like, legacy's cool, but it doesn't pay the bills, and you got to get the money fights because that's what you can't keep the lights on with legacy and this, that, and the third. But that's none of what you were saying before. Like I always say, listen to what people say then and now. And that's not what you were saying before. You were making it sound like it is all about legacy. And Golovkin wants to chase Bernard Hopkins' title defense records. He wants the most knockouts in middleweight history. He wants to be undisputed. He wants all the belts. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden it's money is the main motive. So that doesn't make sense. Now, in the case, see, I gotta talk like Maury Povich. I'm the Maury Povich of this shit. You know what I'm saying? In the case of Jermall Charlo, whether you like him or not, he moved up from 54. He's of adequate size, meaning he's a big middleweight. You know what I mean? I'll show you a picture right now. Dude, in shape. He's youthful. Hold on, I'm gonna get to it. Hold on. Ego Weight Watchers. So he's a good sized middleweight, tall, crispy ass jab, right? I'm not putting on in the hot seat just yet. Look, he's in shape, young, definitely has the demeanor in terms of ambition and being hungry. Whether you think he can beat Triple G or not, I don't give a fuck. Unless you have 100% accuracy rating on your fight predictions, then let's see it. You know what I mean? So what's the deal? Like, why is that fight? Who doesn't want to see that? I'm not getting it. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's gonna help sell the fight. You know what I mean? So he seems like he doesn't mind playing the villain role. Golovkin can be himself and be the good Samaritan role. So you have a protagonist and antagonist, right? And peep this. The WBC gave him a good ranking. He fought and knocked out Golovkin's longtime mandatory, Jorge Sebastian Hyland. Now he's going to fight Hugo Centeno Jr., which we have to see how he looks, but I think he'll be the favorite in that fight, right? So if he gets past him, he's going to be back in the #1 mandatory position, right? So he'll be your mandatory. And now you're talking about fighting Billy Joe Saunders for undisputed. Now, again, I don't have a problem with someone collecting all the belts. That's not the issue. The issue is the inconsistency in the timing. Why didn't Golovkin want to collect all the belts? Listen, Golovkin could have been, if he chose to, he could have been undisputed before Terrence Crawford. Fact. Because all he had to do, he had every belt except for Billy Joe Saunders' belt. There's no promotional blockage or Cold War where K2 and Tom Loeffler can't work with Frank Warren. There was no issue with drug testing or nothing. So realistically, that fight could have happened. So he chose not to. He chose to fight Canelo. He chose to stall out his career waiting for Canelo. He chose to let Golden Boy and Canelo dictate his next move. You know what I'm saying? Oscar damn near punked Team Golovkin, if you think about it, talking about we need time to promote the fight. So if you fuck around and fight Billy Joe Saunders, if you fight him, deal's off. And they're like, oh, hey, Golden Boy, no, calm down. We still want the fight. We'll wait. That's a decision you made. You know what I mean? But realistically speaking, Golovkin could have actually been undisputed. And like, see, now I'm not saying it doesn't mean nothing if Golovkin becomes undisputed, but Terrence Crawford was the first to become undisputed in like over a decade, since Jermaine Taylor, Bernard Hopkins, right? Golovkin could have broke that dry spell and been the first to be undisputed. Now, if Golovkin does become undisputed, let's say in September or some shit, then you're just doing what Crawford did last year. So it's accomplishment, but you didn't break that dry spell, and you could have been the one. So that's my issue with this whole thing with like I said with Abel Sanchez. It doesn't seem consistent. Now, like, I really feel Team Golovkin, they loved it. Listen to me. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Listen to me. Team Golovkin, they loved it when they were the boogeymen. You know what I mean? When they were the ones that was feared and it looked like people were ducking them and the middleweight division wasn't stacked. That's what it appears to me. It looks like that's what they enjoyed. They enjoyed saying, hey, Miguel Cotto just doesn't want to fight us. Sergio Martinez, Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders, Chris Eubank, nobody wants to fight us, man. They love that because that puts you in a position of power. That's fear. That shows nobody wants to test. It's kind of what Errol Spence is going through right now. Nobody wants to really fight him. You know what I mean? There's been some fake call-outs, but I don't... listen, if you ain't ready to fight Errol Spence Jr. in June, then it's a fake call out. Period. Errol Spence right now has no opponent officially. He's probably gonna fight Ocampo for the mandatory, but he doesn't have an actual signed one. So Mikey Garcia doing an interview, and I love Mikey, but I'm just keeping it real like I always do. Him doing an interview, and he has to get past Sergey Lipinets. If you know what I'm saying, you're not ready to fight Errol Spence in June, then you're not. That's a fake call out because that's too far in advance. He's talking about further down the line, man. Shout out to L Dog from New Zealand, $50 super chat in New Zealand. Shout out to you. He said, Ego, agreed, Ego. Although I'm fine with him fighting Billy Joe Saunders so long as he fights both Danny Jacobs and Charlo next year and moves up to fight the winner of the World Boxing Super Series. Respect the grind, keep it up. I appreciate you. Shout out to you, man. And that $50 super chat. Shmoney gang, pray to the Shmoney gods. But listen, my thing is this. Golovkin, if he gets past Canelo, him fighting Billy Joe Saunders, I'm not trashing it. I'm not saying it's a horrific fight. I would much rather it than Triple G versus Adama or Billy Joe Saunders versus Martin Murray. Much better fights than those. Billy Joe Saunders impressed with the David Lemieux performance. But my thing is this, the whole basis of what I'm saying. Someone said, I love you, Ego. Shout out to the fans. Love y'all too. My whole point is this. When Golovkin was the boogeyman and people, like, in my opinion, Cotto wanted no parts of him. When Cotto beat Sergio Martinez, he wasn't really fucking with Golovkin. They even asked him post-fight, Max Kellerman asked him, what about Golovkin? And he was like, So that's what Golovkin and team, to me, thrived off of. They thrived off being the bully on the playground and nobody wanted to fight him. But in Golovkin's last 2 to 3 fights, there have been vulnerabilities there. Now all of a sudden he looks more human. It looks like, okay, there might be a way to beat him in the near future. Now all of a sudden you see the goals shift and the direction shift. Like I said, in this DBN interview, Abel Sanchez is talking about why, and he's been talking. Dante's Boxing Nation has multiple exclusive interviews with Abel Sanchez, and he's basically saying stuff like, why should we fight Jermall Charlo? What's he done? What's he done at middleweight? But it's not up to you to say that if he has been ranked with, Golovkin has all belts but one, and he's been ranked with the WBC. And he's going through their processes, their eliminators, and their second eliminators for interim titles. So what do you mean, was he done? He's been ranked. What the fuck did Dominique Wade do? All right, Jamiria Short says, what have he done? You're in the hot seat. We're gonna see what you done. You about to be done. So you're, okay, explain, you're saying, what has Charlo done? So explain how that's a good reason. If he beats Hugo Centeno and again becomes the #1 contender or mandatory for Golovkin, explain that. Explain why Golovkin shouldn't fight him. Hot seat. Everybody get your popcorn. Man, I had no intentions of doing a hot seat, but then I read these bullshit comments, and then all of a sudden, I got that itchy trigger finger. Now you in the hot seat. Stop ducking. You said, what have he done? Okay. So why shouldn't Golovkin fight? That's all you have to do, is you tell me why Golovkin shouldn't fight Jermall Charlo. Exactly. Someone put crickets. Exactly. Shout out to L Dog. Jermall Charlo is an undefeated former world champion and #1 contender. What has he done? LOL. Exactly. Where is the cricket? Listen, one of my shooters counted 15, and the person that put that, you know what to do with them. Jamaria Short. Your career was short because now you ducking the fade. Jamaria Short. One of my shooters, count to 15 if they have not responded, and I'll make an announcement if they've responded. I don't know how to block people anymore. They fucking switched it. Hey, one of the moderators, what do you do to block someone now? Because YouTube changed the verbiage or something. Joby Mixay says boxing ego. Golovkin's goal being having either money fights or unifying the middleweight division. What does fighting Charlo achieve for him? Okay, now you're in the hot seat. One of my mods, find Jamari. 15 seconds has elapsed. Take Jamari Short out of there. Now you're in the hot seat. We got another one. I'm on my Drake shit. We going back to back. God's plan. Jehobi, you saying what does fighting Charlo achieve for him? Okay, so explain that. What doesn't it achieve for Golovkin? What the fuck do you mean? Listen, never mind. I'm gonna let you finish. So how doesn't that benefit Golovkin if he were to knock out Charlo, for example, and beat him? See, this is the problem with boxing. I'm telling you, I've been saying this. It's you fans like that think like that. You talking about what is beating a former champion who, if he gets past Centeno, he'll be a version of a belt, you know what I mean? An interim champion or whatever the fuck, silver champion. And he was already a champion in his former division with a real belt. This is the problem. That's what I'm talking about, man. It's fans like you. Where's Jehobi? Why is it listen, y'all got so much to say in the hot seat, and then as soon as I put you in the hot seat, okay, here it is. Well, if he knocks out Charlo, then Charlo will be considered a bum after the fact. LOL. Who? See, you full of shit. Who's gonna consider Charlo a bum? He's a former champion. Who's gonna say he beat K9 Bundridge, who was a champion, by knockout? You know what I'm saying? He knocked out Julian J. Rock Williams and knocked him down by a jab. See, you're not, it's looking shaky, baby. You're not sounding too good. Why would people call Charlo a bum? Now you're taking too long, so now let me just get into it so I can fully finish bodying you. Pause. So, people like you, this is how you always get fucked up. One, you're going against me, the Dawn. You're going against the Dawn. Those little bullshit points don't hold up. No, that doesn't hold up. Listen, check this out. I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't go against the Dawn. Because even the thing I'm willing to do, which a lot of you casuals are not willing to do, is put myself in the mindset of the logic in which you speak. So, point being, you're like, oh, what does a win over Charlo do for Golovkin? Come on, right? So what does a win over 154-pound Gabe Rosado do? Grzegorz Proska. Who the fuck is that? Where's Grzegorz Proska been since that fight? You know what I'm saying? He's actually lost since that fight. You know what I mean? What does a win over Osamanu Adama do? What does a win over Dominique Wade do? What does a win over Willie Monroe Jr., at that time very unheard of, who also lost to Billy Joe Saunders and lost to Darnell Boone? What does that do? So even using your logic, then account for and explain Golovkin fighting all these other fights like Martin Murray, Adama, 154-pounders like Rosado and Ishida. And then you really want to say, like, okay, for example, Golovkin fought two guys that I remember recently, well, kind of since he's been in America, that were from the 154-pound division. That was Gabe Rosado, who had already at that point been knocked out by Alfredo El Perro Angulo, right? He wasn't a champion. He was in line to maybe fight like a K9 Bundridge, but he chose to not fight at 54 and to fight Golovkin. And he fought Ishida, whose claim to fame was beating James Kirkland, who has like mentality issues. So what did those wins do? You mean to tell me that you'll give him more credit for beating those 54-pound non-champions than beating Jermall Charlo, who beat Austin Trout, who knocked out J-Rock, who knocked out K9 Bundridge, and knocked out Golovkin's mandatory at 160, and may get past Hugo Centeno Jr. So even using your logic, this shit don't make sense. You can't downplay Charlo, but then account for Adama. Oh, what is an Adama fight? That's my question to you. If you're saying what does a Charlo win do for Golovkin, what does Adama win do for Golovkin? Because he fought him. Who the fuck is Adama? I thought it was Michael Blackson or something. Try again, motherfucker. Do you know who you're dealing with? Like, who's Adama? I mean, let's be real. Who's Adama? Where's he been? Where's his career? No, try again, motherfucker. The pink motherfucker. Where's Adama been? So, once again, if you want to downplay Charlo, Jacoby Bryant, you said Golovkin wants money fights or wants to unify the division. Charlo is neither a money fight or a way to unify the division. You don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say Golovkin wants money fights or to unify the division, so I don't even know what you're talking about with that. I said Golovkin's MO and what his team has said has switched between the need for money and money fights and legacy defining moves and unifying the division. At one point, this is what I'm saying, since you clearly struggle with comprehension. My point is this: Team Golovkin has expressed an interest in doing all things that are legacy related, being undisputed, collecting all the belts, and you know what I mean, passing Bernard Hopkins' title defense records and wanting to fight the best. That was their main directives and their highest priority from what they told us. Then that turned out to not necessarily be true, because when they had the opportunity to fight Billy Joe Saunders, they fought Canelo instead, which was a money fight. So my whole point is that Team Golovkin has switched priorities from everything legacy related to money. Money is the main motive. You know what I mean? Shout out all my shooters. Shout out to Christian Boswell. Perfect example. Kell Brook. There was no real need for that fight. It just, you had a date and you knew you could make some money in the UK. So that's, again, another example of switching the priorities. That's not a legacy defining fight, beating up on a welterweight and breaking his eye. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't really do much for it. I'm not like, oh, it didn't really show me nothing. Like, I'm not like, oh, this Golovkin's a big bad man because he beat up a welterweight. Put Errol Spence in there at 147. Put a 135 pounder in there with Errol Spence. Why would I be like, oh fuck, Errol Spence just knocked out this lightweight? I mean, that's not, I mean, it's cool. And it don't matter how good the lightweight is. It's the fact that he moved up in one fell swoop. So anyway, Jacoby, your ship is sinking rapidly. The bottom line is, oh my gosh, you're the definition of a casual. That fight was supposed to be against Eubank Jr. Eubank pulled out, therefore promoters look for. See, this is what they do, people. He's talking about this Chris Eubank and why Kell Brook fell in. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about that. I'm just naming a point. That was a money fight. It wasn't a fight that was going to really add to Golovkin's legacy. But the bottom line is, this is what they do. They start trying to derail from the actual point. The Kell Brook is my whole argument, or my whole point. Kell Brook fight is this much. I don't really care why he fought it. I know all the details. I'm a reporter, duh. I know what happened, and the Chris Eubank Sr. wanted ticket sales, and I know the whole details and situation. But see, you want to focus on why the fight came into fruition. I don't really care about that. I mean, that's not even the main point. My main point is Jermall Charlo, and you failed miserably trying to disprove it. I asked you a question, since you want to be real. You're talking about Kell Brook fight. That is literally, you know when your phone's about to die and it's on 1%? So if this was a battery, the whole Kell Brook fight is literally 1% of what we've been talking about. You still haven't answered my question. I asked you specifically, and I'm gonna give you one last chance, and then we're gonna vote, and we're gonna hot seat you. You said, what does a Charlo fight do for Golovkin in any way, basically? What does an Adama... I'm not listening. I'm not reading anything unless it's a response. Listen. What does an Adama fight do for Golovkin? Did it give him a unifying the division, like the bullshit you saying? Did Adama have a title and that was helping him unify the division? No. Is that a money fight? No. Was Willie Monroe a unifying fight or a money fight? So once again, answer that question. If you put anything else, you're automatically disqualified because that means you're stalling and you don't have an answer and you're wasting people's time. So once again, I'll give you 3 people you can pick. What is Dominique Wade, Willie Monroe Jr., or Adama? Any of those 3 people, what did those fights give to Golovkin in terms of legacy, money, or unifying the division, since Charlo won't do anything? The Adama fight was previous to the Lemieux fight. Once again, you're not answering the question. I'm going to give you one last reply. If your reply is not a direct answer to that question, I will repeat it. Adama, Willie Monroe, Dominique Wade, what did that do for Golovkin? If you feel that a Charlo win and victory for Golovkin doesn't really do anything since it's not unifying the division, and you allegedly say it's not a big money fight, then what did any of those 3 fights do? Whatever you reply, I promise you, if it is not a direct response to what I just said, you're cremated and you're out of here. So come on, Jahobi, you gotta do something, baby. We waiting on you, Jahobi. What did Adama, Wade, or Willie Monroe do for Golovkin? They weren't champions, and they weren't money fights, and not all of them were before David Lemieux. So you can't use that bullshit excuse, even though that has no bearing on anything. I answer your question. Why did he fight Adama if he wanted to unify? He could not unify at that point. Therefore, he fought anyone which could help him. So, your answer is that he just fought anyone. Okay, so what happened to Willie Monroe? Why'd he fight Willie Monroe? I'll wait. See, you're trying desperately to weasel your way out of this, right? Why'd he fight Willie Monroe? Why'd he fight Dominique Wade? See, again, I gave you 3, and you're not really answering. Man, let's just vote. He's wasting everybody's time. Hey, let's vote. If he got the L, everybody put your L's up so we can move on. Well, I don't have time. I'm the champ, man. I don't have time to be wasting for some bullshit. And I know I've already bothered you. If he got an L, put your L's up so we can move along. Hey, Christian, you know what to do. Shooter. Get him out of here, man. See, the L's are just pouring. They're pouring in because they know. Damn, Christian blasted you. Shout out to Christian, man. But listen, see, this is how you. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna write a book about this. It's gonna be like killing casuals for dummies, and I'm gonna show you the rules of the game, the rules of engagement. This is how you beat these motherfuckers at their own point. There ain't no mercy. He's already out of here. This is how you beat these dudes at their own point because they don't think too far ahead. That's what it is. You know what I mean? So use their logic, and you could use it against them. You're disrespectful, motherfucker. Fuck your channel. Okay. And you're blocked. So, peace out. You know, the funny thing is this. Oh, you're disrespectful. Why are you here? Like, there's a lot of... This is free. This is the free world media. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be on my channel. I don't care. Anyway. Yeah, you're disrespectful. Get the fuck on. Anyway, yeah, they act like, see, this is the thing. These dudes act like they're bound by my channel. And then they be coming back with 3 and 4 usernames trying to get back on the channel. But why? I'm so disrespectful. You hate me. I suck. I'm biased. I'm a dick-sucking whatever. You know what I mean? Why do you keep coming back? It don't make sense. But anyway, just all you have to do is use their logic against them. They say, oh, what does the Charlo win do for Golovkin? Okay, what does Willie Monroe win do for Golovkin? What does Dominique Wade do for? Dominique Wade was a mandatory, and he was a less proven mandatory. Was Dominique Wade a champion? He was coming off of a draw with the 41-year-old with like 11 losses, Sam Solomon. See, I know my boxing off the top of my head. So once again, This is why we have the hot seat. You can go up against the Dawn if you want, and you can try to like rebuke and rebuttal what I'm saying, but you got to know your shit. Bottom line is Jermall Charlo is a threat. Yo, we got almost 200 people in here. We got to get at least to 100 likes. Smash the like button if you're in here, if you're enjoying it, if you like real boxing talk, and you like that real, that pure, y'all got to hit that like button. But it's a cop out. It's a cop out to not fight Charlo. That's what I got from the interview with Dante's Boxing Nation. What do you mean? What has he done? He's going through the processes that the WBC, in which Golovkin has a good relationship with the WBC. He goes to their little WBC conventions and events. They're giving him awards and shit like that, Fighter of the Year or whatever. So Charlo's simply doing what the WBC is asking of him. Fight this eliminator for mandatory. Now fight this one for the silver interim title or whatever against Hugo Centeno Jr. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, the whole problem I have is there was nobody in the playground for Golovkin at a point in time. You know what I mean? It didn't look like Cotto or any top level challenges for him. Now that there are, Demetrius Andrade, Daniel Jacobs has proven to give Golovkin a tough fight. You got Billy Joe Saunders and you got Jermall Charlo. And they're all looking like threats. I mean, and Canelo, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, now it's like picking and choosing who. You know what I mean? You want to pick Canelo, who really hasn't even fought at middleweight. He got one fight at middleweight before he fought Golovkin. That was against Chavez Jr. You know what I mean? So it's just, the fans make it bad because it's all what we accept. You know what I mean? And again, I can, even using Abel or the casual fan, using their logic, you have to make it make sense. And the thing is, how can you justify Dominique Wade fights happening in recent memory? I was at the fight. You know what I mean? You can justify those fights happening, but when it comes to Charlo, oh fuck no, Charlo, what has he done at middleweight? What has he accomplished? What is he? How can you say that? See, the worst part about new media, I'm gonna tell y'all, the worst part about new media is this: it's infectious, it's contagious. When you start thinking like a real life like boxing fan, it just spreads. My dude, my shooters are killing y'all with the points. My dude J-Dog says, who did welterweight Kell Brook do to get a title shot? Exactly, that's a great point. You know what I mean? And I don't care about the Chris Eubank Jr. The bottom line is you fought a welterweight. It made you some money and you fought him. All right, Yo-Yo's in the hot seat. This is what, like, I don't know if y'all realize, like, I'm back. Remember Judge Dredd? I am the law. I'm the law, and I'm back. Yo-Yo, you in the hot seat. He says, Ego, stop with this BS, bro. What BS? What have I said that was BS? Yo-Yo, you have 15 seconds to respond. And then, because some of y'all you're like time vampires, and you're trying to take too much time. So 15 seconds. Yo-Yo, you said stop with this BS. What if I said that was BS? What do you disagree with? See, I give y'all an opportunity to redeem yourself and or explain your points. And if you choose not to do that, then that's your bad. Yo-Yo, we gonna do you like a yo-yo. Just, we're gonna wrap that string around you. Okay, he says, I disagree with DBN a lot, but at least he has the balls to take up calls and debate like a real man, besides having them respond by message, which takes 10 minutes. So, what the fuck does it have to do with anything? You just said, stop with this BS. What BS? What is having a call in? What does that have to do with what? You still didn't answer the question. Like, I don't get it. Why can y'all not answer questions? Stop with this BS. And I said, what BS? What did I say that you disagree with? And you start talking about Dante and I need a call-in show. What does that have to do with anything? You keep roasting people, but try roast them on the phone live and get embarrassed. I mean, that's not gonna happen. Why would I get embarrassed? It's not even about it's about the fact of what they're saying. I'm not getting embarrassed because their points and their arguments aren't strong enough. Anyway, thank you for playing. One of my shooters, get Yo-Yo the fuck up out of here. Bye bye. Thank you for playing. It's been real, but I'm back. Shooters, get Yo-Yo out of here. That was, I mean, y'all just like giving yourselves L's. I don't even really have to do that much work anymore because y'all always get in your feelings. Like, stop with this BS. I'm like, hey, what did I say was BS? You need a call-in show. Okay. I mean, that's cool if you guys have suggestions, but what does that have to do with the question of what BS? What are you talking about? Yo-Yo said, don't try to play me out. Oh, I didn't see that part. Well, we handing out caskets, people. You know, the MO for 2018 hasn't changed. Ego, why do you think the Jacobs fight was closer than the Canelo fight? I never said that, so I don't know what you're talking about. But, yeah, man. The bottom line is, if you say anything, you have an opinion, people, it's not that they're, and this is why we have the live stream. It's not that people are disputing you. It's the fact that they just don't want to hear it, because when they have the opportunity to actually dispute your claims, they don't. You know what I'm saying? If anything, they usually prove you right. Before we continue, I'm going to give you guys one opportunity, one more. If anybody feels that a fight with Jermall Charlo and Gennady Golovkin does nothing for him, does nothing for Golovkin, then please step up right now. I'm giving a free hot seat. If you think, basically, if you think the Charlo Golovkin fight shouldn't happen, I'm giving you an opportunity. Anybody want to step up? Step up. Okay, we got our first one, Blue Hurricane. We'll see how much of a hurricane that you are. So, why would the Charlo fight versus Golovkin, why is it a bad fight? Blue Hurricane, why is it a bad fight? Or why doesn't it not make sense or whatever? See, Brendan Schaub, this is why no one takes people like you serious. You say Charlotte would get messed up. Anytime you got a name call instead of just being an adult and being like Charlo would get messed up or whatever your statement is, we know not to take you seriously. Where's Blue Hurricane, man? Grow up, PC fat, you're out of here. This shit is too easy. Because my whole thing is he just got here. And Triple G was fighting his way up when Charlo hasn't yet. But who was Triple G fighting? He wasn't fighting no top level crazy world beaters. What are you talking about? You Gregor's Proska? Listen, put Gregor's Proska in with Charlo and tell me what would happen. What would happen? Gabe Rosado lost to Charlo's other brother. So, I mean, a lot of people think Jermall is the better of the two. So he already lost to him. Name somebody that Triple G was fighting on his way up that you would say, Troy King says he's almost back. Hey, what you doing? What day are you free? Troy King in the building. You think Lemieux would beat Jermall Charlo and he looked like dog shit versus Billy Joe Saunders and he got knocked out by Marco Antonio Rubio. Good luck with that. And he lost to Hoshim Alcine. And he proved that he has power, but he's very one-dimensional. So if he can't knock you out, then he doesn't really have many backup plans or whatever. All right, I'm gonna text you. See, man, it's looking shaky for y'all. I think if anything, he wouldn't beat Jacobs or Lemieux. They're too strong. That's debatable. That's debatable. Especially with Lemieux, because like I said, if he can't knock you out, he doesn't really have plan B through F. You know what I mean? And then the thing is, Jacobs might do, but he's been stopped, so that's a good fight. We don't know. Charlo's never been stopped. Jacobs has been stopped, but he's a damn good fighter, so I don't know who would win in that fight. You know what I mean? So once again, I'm gonna use the same logic that I used the last guy. I'm gonna recycle logic and still kill you with it. So explain the Dominique Wade fight, the Willie Monroe with 6 knockout fight, you know, on his resume, and a loss to Darnell Boone, and beating Brian Vera right before Triple G, and explain those fights. Why did those fights, Adama? Why did those fights happen? If Charlo just got here, guess what? Gabe Rosado didn't just get here. His first fight at 160 was Golovkin. But now we're talking about Charlo don't have enough middleweight experience. Why'd you fight a 54-pounder in Ishida? Why'd you fight a 54-pounder with no experience at 160 in Gabe Rosado? The logic does not make sense. The logic you're saying, oh, but Charlo just got here. Okay, so Gabe Rosado didn't just get here because he was a 54-pounder and he moved straight up. Kell Brook, where was his? Kell Brook, you talking about Charlo just got here. Kell Brook didn't just get to shit because he was a welterweight. So what are you talking about? Listen, if you want to come for the Don, you got to have stronger points. Kell Brook, explain that to me. Kell Brook had no fights at 160, and you talking about Charlo just got here. Kell Brook moved up 2 weight classes. So what are you talking about? Charlo, he only has one or two fights or whatever. Okay, Kell Brook has 0 at 160. Look at Shaky, baby. Blue Hurricane, come on. Shout out to J-Dog. He said, I've never seen a champ who move up and have so many excuses on why they should not get a title shot when moving up than Charlo. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm telling you, like Tupac said, the fear was stronger than love. It's the fear. Now it's, see, listen, when these dudes get, it's just like the police on like First 48. When they jam you up, now it's different. He says it's different if you got no one who was willing to fight you at the time and had 1 belt, it's understandable. No, that's bullshit. So, okay, in your heart of all hearts, Willie Monroe was the only person that would step in with Golovkin, not Toriano Johnson or Aventel Curtise. It was Willie Monroe was the only one man enough. Like you could have, maybe Cotto or whoever didn't want to fight you, but you could have fought someone better than Adama. You know what I'm saying? You could have fought someone better than Adama, man. You making excuses. Now let's just vote, man. We gotta move on with the show. You can't fuck with me. I'm the Don. If you got an L, put your L's up. Everybody put your L's up. You talking about, oh, Charlo just got here. Okay, Kell Brook had no experience at 160. Neither did Gabe Rosado, and neither did Ishida. Everybody put your L's up. One of my shooters handle Blue Hurricane. The levee has broke. Blue Hurricane up out of there. Too easy, man. Everybody type pussy. Oh my gosh. This is hilarious to me. Man, I got shooters on deck at all times. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's crazy to me. People want to nitpick and talk about, even though he's ranked highly, and if he wins again, he'll be in another #1 mandatory spot. They're finding every excuse under the sun to not fight the mandatory in Jermall Charlo. But when a mandatory that no one heard of really, that was never a champion, in Dominique Wade, and I know people, I'm not gonna reveal my source, but I know people when they said Dominique Wade since the amateurs, he's solid, but he's very lazy. Like he don't like to do his whatever. I don't know, his miles or whatever. They told me that firsthand, and here's a hint. It's an actual boxing trainer. You know what I'm saying? That told me this, and they know them from the amateurs and stuff. It's a fighter, and there's a trainer, that told me that Dominic Wade, he's always been lazy. Now, I'm not throwing dirt on his name. That's just what I heard. So why did the Dominic Wade fight happen? But now the Charlo is looking like a threat, especially if he gets past Hugo Centeno Jr., right? And then now it's like every excuse on the sun, oh, I don't make money, and Charlo doesn't do this, and what does Charlo bring to the table? Charlo doesn't have enough tattoos. Like, you guys think of any bullshit reason to not see some shit. Like, man, this is insane. Blue Hurricane, and they got a stripper name. Hey, yo, Wildin'. That's funny, though. That's funny. Like, what boxing fans do this? Like, think of excuses to not see a good fight. And here's what they'll do. Danny Jacobs should fight Charlo. Why? So we can have the Black Murderers row? All the coolest monkeys in the jungle fight each other? It's so predictable. This is what they want. This is what they want. They want another Black Murderers row where all the top elite black fighters got to X each other off, and then the Canelos and the Golovkin and whoever else don't have to scrap. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to scrap against those oppositions. The other guys knock each other off. You know what I mean? Charlo and Jacobs aren't even on the, like, it's a good fight, but Jacobs has no belt, and Jacobs is not en route to fight Charlo in terms of like he doesn't have a belt, so it's not like Charlo is ranked for like, if Jacobs still had the WBA regular belt and he had a mandatory situation where he had to fight Charlo, okay, then that's one thing. But Jacobs has no belt. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like Charlo is ranked to, like, Jacobs got to see Charlo because he's ranked for it. You know what I mean? Triple G is in a situation where his #1 mandatory will continue to be Charlo if Charlo wins his next fight. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. Again, Jacobs versus Charlo, it's not a bad fight. I would love to see the fight, to be honest, because I'm a real boxing fan. But again, situations don't make sense to, if you're on track to hunt someone down and it's a bigger money fight for you, why would Charlo move to the side, fight a guy that Golovkin beat, technically, even though I thought Jacobs beat him? Why would he do that for no belt when he could fight Golovkin for all the belts, or most of the belts? All right, we got another hot seat. I'm just gonna burn y'all all day. Jules Winfield, and I think that's from Pulp Fiction, and you're far from Pulp Fiction. You ain't even Pulp Orange Juice. Jacobs is on his way to a title shot, and Charlo wants a title shot. Shit is looking right to me. Canelo and Triple G beefed up. They 3 and 4 in the division. So once again, explain to me how Charlo got ranked with the WBC, and he could fight Golovkin for all the belts but one if they enforce that. But he should jump out of line to fight a champion who beat the guy Jacobs, right? Why he should jump out of line to fight a guy with no belt. You know how they say boxing is a business? Make that make sense. Why would Charlo do that? So Jacobs lost to Triple G on the record, right? He has no belt. And you're saying that Charlo should fight Jacobs rather than fight the champion who he's on a direct collision course with and rated to fight as a mandatory. That doesn't even make sense to me. We're waiting. The Cali Enigma $5 super chat, gang. These fans on some suspect shit. They have weird fantasies about these fighters to the point they feel like they're protecting the loved one. You ain't never lied. Never ever lied. Uncle Burnt, you sound stupid as hell. How did he get that mandatory in the first spot, in the first place? Very suspect. How is Terrence Crawford the mandatory for Jeff Horn and he ain't got no fights? This shit happens all the time. Amir Khan was Danny Garcia's mandatory when he got that WBC belt. And Amir Khan don't even have that many fights. Jules says it ain't a business, it's a sport. I want to see a good fight, and since Triple G is fighting Canelo, Who else want Charlo? I told you, you aren't Pulp Fiction. You ain't even orange juice with some pulp. You pulpless. Because you said, now you're saying boxing isn't a business. So why does everyone say boxing is a business if it ain't a business? Why do they charge us for tickets if boxing is not a business? You're done. Everybody put your L's up. Jules can't coexist. I'm telling y'all can't coexist to me. Again, you won't answer why Charlo is a mandatory for Golovkin and he should hop out of line to fight a non-champion just because it'll be a good fight when he could keep pressing to fight the champion. Ego should fight Charlo. That's your second dumb comment. Third one, you out of here. So you know who I'm talking to, and that's just what it is. Oh, what are you talking about? I should fight Charlo. We're not even in the same weight class. Charlos are cool. They ain't never done nothing. What are you talking about? See, y'all say stupid shit. Anyway, get Jules out of here. You just cry and throw your opinion. Well, guess what? You won't be here to see any of that because you're blocked. Thank you. He talking about, oh, you just cry. Okay. Well, you just get bodied and catch this L. And the funny thing is, y'all all say the same stupid shit. Does it look like I'm crying? Like, do you guys see tears and quivers in my voice? Like, what are you talking about? Where am I crying at? Man, we just, like I said, I'm going through the whole roster. It don't matter. Again, you can't make it make sense to me. Like, you can't say Charlo should fight a non-champion when he's about to be the mandatory to fight the champion with all the one. I mean, that doesn't even make sense for a fight. I mean, would you guys do that? Like, I'm trying to think of an example because it's just such a weird situation that you guys are asking for. It's kind of weird to even like make an analogy. I'm trying to think of something. Like, let's say you're at a car dealership and there's two nice cars and they say, hey, we're getting a shipment of new cars in today and you could take this car, which is a nice car, you know what I mean, like a Nissan Sentra, or if you wait for the same price, you could get this great luxury car, you know what I mean, this Infiniti Q45 that you'll like better, you know what I mean? Why wouldn't you wait a little bit longer to get the more luxury car with more options, you know what I mean? So using that logic for the Golovkin fight, Golovkin technically beat Jacobs. Jacobs doesn't have a title. And then the dude, this is how you know when they're getting killed, man. The dude Jules that just got blocked, he just said, Jacobs is on his way to a title shot. We don't know because it doesn't look like people want to fight him. They're talking about him fighting Marcelo Sujic or whatever his name is. You know what I mean? He don't have a chance. So how do you know he's on the way to a title shot? Looks like Billy Joe Saunders is ducking him. So what do you mean he's on the way to? Y'all just be making up shit. Billy Joe Saunders talking about, oh, if Jacobs really wanted to fight, he shouldn't have signed to Eddie Hearn. So what do you mean, Jacob? How's he gonna get a title shot? Doesn't look like Golovkin's trying to rematch him anytime soon. And Billy Joe Saunders is talking about he shouldn't have signed to a promoter who was interested in signing him for a good amount of money. Man, these fans is crazy. This is real life crazy. Fans do all this just like Wilder Joshua. Y'all doing all this to not see a good fight. Crazy. Crazy. Why do you think Jacobs won when he landed less punches and got knocked down? See, one, I feel that way because I'm not a casual like you. See, people like you rely solely on CompuBox numbers and a knockdown. I think Ward beat Kovalev and he got knocked down. You know what I mean? Some people thought Juan Manuel Marquez beat Pacquiao in the first fight and Marquez got knocked down 3 times. So it's not, boxing's more, in a 12-round fight, is more than just not getting knocked down, especially when you only get knocked down once. Obviously, the more times you get knocked down, the more of a deficit you're in. But like I just said, Marquez got knocked down 3 times, and some people still thought he beat Manny Pacquiao. So getting knocked down once is not the end of the world, especially when it's early. Second of all, you can look at CompuBox numbers and judge a fight, or you can judge it by the rule set. And CompuBox is a cool guy, but Golovkin was landing jabs, and it was a great jab. Don't get me wrong, Jacobs couldn't get away from the jab. I was there live. But the bottom line is, he was landing jabs. Jacobs was switching it up. He had more vigor, and he was landing power shots. So you run a rank landing a few more jabs in terms of punch totality, as opposed to the guy who's landing what looks to be the anything but a jab is a power shot. You get me? That's a fact. So the guy that's landing more power shots, you know what I mean? He just looked like he was in more control. And then we seen Jacobs look, I mean, just put it this way. If Triple G looked so good, why did Golden Boy and Canelo all of a sudden seem to have a change of heart? Because they looked at Golovkin's last 2 fights with Kell Brook and Jacobs, and they're like, okay, this guy ain't this monster like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why. Like, I mean, in all of 2016, you never seen that. And then all of a sudden, the Jacobs fight proves what most people really know, but seeing is believing. Oh, okay, this guy doesn't just knock out everybody. You can go 12 rounds with him with the right game plan, etc. So, you know what I mean? That's why I thought, because I was live in the flesh. See, a lot of y'all have so many opinions. Y'all don't even buy pay-per-views. Y'all don't even go to fights. Y'all don't spend no money and trying to talk about, oh, why do you think you won? Because I was at the fucking fight. That's why. And again, Triple G had a good jab, but that's all he landed, just like with Canelo. Shout out to J-Dog. I don't know what the dude was talking about. I just said, you don't have to block me or something. I didn't even read all that, but I told you I got my shooters on deck. So that's why I thought Jacobs won. See, and this is the thing is, I don't get on the camera and just start fronting. I don't just hit the record button and just start making shit up. I tell you my real thoughts. So if you put me on blast or question me right here, you see how easily I was able to verbalize why I had Jacobs winning. You know what I mean? Because I'm not just saying this shit. I paid attention to the fight. I watched the fight, and I just think overall, and especially in the second half, Jacobs, he was coming alive. I mean, Jacobs landed a combination, and Golovkin's head going all crazy, and Jacobs was like, yeah, like flexing on him and shit. He had bravado, and he was landing the shots. Triple G, man, it reminds me like Kovalev. Kovalev can box. Kovalev can box, but when you seen him in there with Ward in their second fight, he looked like more like the standard Eastern European, not throwing uppercuts and a bunch of hooks and different places, different things like that. You know what I mean? Lomachenko is the guy, and then maybe a couple other people, maybe like Usyk and stuff, but really Lomachenko's the guy that sticks out from that region, Eastern European, that fights totally unconventional to the standard Eastern European style. Like, you've seen it with Victor Postal. Victor Postal is a good boxer, but he's more robotic, straight up and down. So when they put him in there with Crawford, someone who can box and think and switch up and was more athletic with more speed, then you've seen that Eastern European style come out. Again, that was good against Lucas Matisse. You're able to frustrate and tie him up and just outbox him. But when you're in there with the masterclass boxer with an American style with some athleticism and speed, it was different. And that's kind of what it is. Triple G looks more versatile against a certain style, like Marco Antonio Rubio, guys he don't respect their power at all. But when you have some athleticism, some wits about you, some brain, even Canelo has more of an American style than Mexican style. Like, he has Mexican heart or whatever, but he don't, you know what I mean? He's doing upper body movement and on the ropes and shit. And like I said, when you implement that, then Golovkin looked a lot more human, period. He looked a lot more Eastern European style, too. Why wasn't Golovkin throwing hooks at Canelo and uppercuts? Somebody answer that. Why did he choose? Why did Golovkin land 8 body shots on Canelo? Why was he reduced to a jab in 2 back-to-back fights? See, this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all get mad, but I see it how I see it unless someone's going to prove me wrong, and y'all have yet to do that. You look at what Floyd Mayweather does. I've never seen someone take Floyd Mayweather out of his game so much to the point where he's not even looking like okay, let's say what Floyd does good, defense. Everyone knows he has a solid, very solid, sharp defense. When have you ever seen a fight where Floyd Mayweather was just getting tagged nonstop and it looked like his defense was not even present? Like, you know what I mean? Like he had like the worst defense in the game. When have you ever seen that from Floyd Mayweather? Now, don't get me wrong, there's guys that hit him, Cotto or Maidana or some shit, but his defense didn't look like shit because, again, you put that same Maidana in there with Broner, and Broner was getting knocked down by Maidana. Floyd Mayweather was on the ropes, and even if he was getting hit, he was still sweet in there. You know what I mean? Versus you look at Golovkin, things he was known for doing with lesser opposition when he stepped when he stepped up that competition level, it faded. They took his power better. He looked better cutting off the ring, a lot better versus lesser guys than Canelo and Jacobs. He only landed 8 body shots on Canelo because Canelo has a defense and power you have to respect. That's what I'm talking about. When do you ever see that from Floyd? When do you ever see, like, let's say Floyd has a good right hand, which he does. Who's taking away Floyd's right hand? Where he landed 8 right hands and he couldn't get the right off. You know what I'm saying? When have you ever seen that? You haven't. So to me, that shows me that, and here's another thing, like talking about Floyd. Floyd is far more overall skilled than Golovkin. Proof is in the pudding. I'm talking about overall. You can say Golovkin's stronger or he's more offensive. Cool. I'm talking about overall skill. And the reason I know that is because Floyd has multiple ways to get it done. Golovkin hasn't really showed me that. He hasn't really shown me like several different. When have you ever seen Golovkin fight off the ropes? He doesn't. And I don't think he can. Like some of the shit Roy Jones is doing, I've never seen Golovkin do that. Like anything flashy like that. He's just very methodical, very good at what he does. Period. You know what I mean? Even look like with what I'm saying about how Golovkin, when he stepped up in competition, he wasn't able to do, he was like reduced to jabbing. Look at Marcos Maidana, one of my favorites. Shout out to Chino. Narcos Maidana, right? Even when Maidana stepped up with the better names, certain things that he was known for still showed up. Amir Khan fight, he showed heart when he got knocked down, got back up, and he had Khan badly hurt later in the fight. He fucked up Eric Morales' eye and had his eye looking terrible. He knocked Broner down, the first to do it, and beat Broner. He hurt Floyd Mayweather. He knocked out Josecito Lopez. So you see the power was always there, even when he was fighting upper echelon competition. Yeah, I mean, you hurt Floyd, you hurt Broner, you hurt Eric Morales, so you hurt Amir Khan. So what Maidana did well, even when he was fighting guys outside of Argentina, he was still able to hurt. He may not have been able to stop all them guys, but the power was still there. When it comes to Golovkin, it looks like when he stepped up a competition, things changed. Even the David Lemieux fight. David Lemieux had a horrible game plan, but it took like maybe 9 rounds to get David Lemieux out, and he wasn't really even doing nothing. But Golovkin knew he had power, so he had to take his time with that. But namely, his last 2 fights. I mean, even the Kell Brook fight. Errol Spence knocked Kell Brook down, Golovkin didn't. Fact. Golovkin, even though he knocked him out, he never knocked Kell Brook off of his feet. You know what I mean? Had him on the mat. And this is a guy who just ate up to move up 2 divisions. He jabbed Lemieux because the power changed his style. Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, get the victory the best way you know how. Like, I'd rather be the victor than the loser. But the thing is, Golovkin came in the game, him and his team, talking about Mexican style. Why you talking about Canelo running and stuff like that? Even though Golovkin didn't use his legs per se, and I think that's because I don't think he necessarily can use his legs like Canelo or Crawford or Floyd or something. But he definitely switched. He didn't fight Lemieux Mexican style. He didn't just go out there with. He didn't do that. He fought behind the jab, which is smart, but that's not Mexican style. So, I mean, don't criticize Canelo for fighting his best chance to make you look bad and to beat you. You're talking about, oh, Canelo ran. I thought he was Mexican and stuff. Like, really? You know what I mean? And fans are crazy, man. If you think about it, like, you got a guy who's not from Mexico, doesn't speak Spanish, not Mexican, Mexican American, and he's saying he Mexican style, and people are cool with that. And then he's criticizing the actual Mexican fighter who's from Mexico, Guadalajara, Mexico, who speaks Spanish, speaks only a little English, and then they're saying, oh, but Golovkin, he's Mexican style. Like, this game is crazy. This game is crazy. But again, I mean, fighters fight to win, you know what I mean? And Golovkin, if he had to get behind that jab and, you know what I mean, for Lemieux, then he's going to do that. But again, the only problem I have is that's not the Mexican style shit you was talking about. And the same thing with Canelo. You say he ran, but he's trying to win out there. He didn't have no real experience at 160. He's not trying to just go out there and give you the slugfest you want. Like, come on. Anyway, y'all fans be trying to, some of y'all be trying to protect these fighters. And that's why you don't want to see good fights. You know what I mean? And the thing is, like, let's say like Terrence Crawford. I really like Terrence Crawford. I supported him. I like what he's doing for the sport. But you notice there's difficult fights for him, and you never see me say no. I never said Pacquiao. That's a difficult fight. It could be a difficult fight for Crawford. I would favor him, but you know, it's still Pacquiao. You know what I mean? Especially a couple years ago. I never said that Crawford shouldn't fight Pacquiao. Him moving up, first fight against a guy who's going to try to burrow in with his head and has power like Jeff Horn, that could be a dangerous fight. But I never said no. You know what I mean? Errol Spence, I never said no. Ward fighting Kovac, never said no. But y'all motherfuckers, oh, Triple G versus Charlo. No! Fuck no. What has Charlo ever done? Charlo can't sell. Charlo. Like, what? Because y'all scared. That's what it is. That's what this game is. These fans are scared. They don't want, you know what I mean, that fall from grace. And if there's a person that they feel is maybe even capable, they rather, you know what the twisted part about this whole shit is? The twisted part about the game is they clearly respect the fighter, because you wouldn't be fearful if you didn't respect them. You know what I mean? But the worst part about the game is they'll shit on the fighter at the same time of fearing them. Let me run that back. Let me TiVo this. They'll shit on a fighter, the same fighter that they fear. Do you guys understand that? That's crazy. The fighter you fear, you're also shitting on him. Who is Charlo fought? Then why do you fear him? You should put Golovkin in there. They could fight in Texas, where there's definitely a market for that fight. Knock him out, execute a mandatory, and then keep it pushing. Why would you fear him? If he's same thing with Wilder Joshua. Oh, Joshua knocks him out easy. Fight him then. There should be no Gerald Big Baby Miller for Joshua, Povetkin, Tyson Fury off a 2-year layoff. Why are we talking about any of those fights? Why are we just solely talking about Wilder's next fight with Ortiz, Joshua Parker, and then Joshua Wilder? You know what I mean? But again, the fear outweighs the love, and that's the only way they can express it. They fear certain fighters and matchups or whatever, but at the same time, they'll shit on the person. oh, Mikey Garcia will fucking no mas to Lomachenko. Then Lomachenko shouldn't fight nobody else but Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia, if he gets past Sergey Lipinets and he'll get no mas, then why is Lomachenko fighting anybody? I don't want to see him fight Linares, Ray Beltran, Ray Caruth, Ray Charles, Ray. Don't fight nobody but Mikey Garcia. You'll get a good purse. You'll get notoriety for beating a guy like Mikey Garcia who's undefeated. You know what I mean? It's fear. That's the only thing I can gather. That's the only thing I can gather is if it's easy, like it's taking candy from a baby, take the candy from the baby and keep it rocking. Simple. Oh, who's Charlo beat? I mean, really? Charlo, he hasn't done nothing at middleweight. Then listen, this is how you always, man, you have to outsmart these motherfuckers because I'm telling you, they're not that smart. These casuals are like zombies. Brains. They're not really that intellectual. They don't really think ahead. All you have to do is outsmart them. Listen, Abel Sanchez told DBM, he said, what has Charlo done at middleweight? So then that would be the perfect time for y'all to fight him. He has a name. His name is buzzing. Stop his momentum before he gets any better. Why would you want him to get more middleweight fights and eventually, let's say, fight Billy Joe Saunders or Daniel Jacobs, get stronger, get more acclimated to the division, and get hungrier, and then fight him? Why would you want to fight him now? Knock him off right then and there, and then you're good. You know what I mean? It's just like Charlo versus Erickson Lubin. What if Erickson Lubin fought Jarrett Hurd and beat him, and then fought like Demetrius Andrade and beat him, then Charlo gets him? You know what I mean? Fight him right now. His name's buzzing. He's undefeated, and set his career back. That's all you have to do if it's that sweet. And the other thing is, another reason I forgot to mention this, Charlo has been vocal about wanting to fight Canelo and Golovkin. I got a video of Charlo in New York, and he says, you say you the best, I feel I'm the best, let's settle it. I could come to HBO, they can come to Showtime, let's settle it. I got the video. I can pull it up right now. You know what I mean? So on top of everything else, Charlo is calling for the Golovkin fight. On top of him pretty much being a mandatory until otherwise proven. And like I said, Hugo Centeno Jr. is my dude, but he's the one that has an L on his record, and Charlo doesn't. So I would say Charlo's probably the favorite in there. But actually, Centeno was pretty big. I didn't know Centeno would be that big next to Charlo. But either way, I think Charlo will be the favorite. You know what I mean? It's just the fear. Errol Spence, he did a perfect job in his last fight. If you think I'm vulnerable, you can exploit my weaknesses, you think shit's sweet, call out. I mean, that settles everything. If Charlo's a bum, if he ain't beat nobody, he ain't ready for the world, end his reign, you know what I'm saying? Easy. Yeah, I mean, and then if you think about it, it's not going to be any worse than some of Golovkin's fights that he's given us. A welterweight Kell Brook, Adama, Ishida, Proska. Like, you know what I mean? Are we really going to be like, oh, fucking, I mean, real talk, if Golovkin faced Charlo, then the Charlo victory would be in his top 3 victories, to me. Anybody disagree? Tell me what other 3 wins that you would rate over that. You gonna rate David Lemieux win over that? When David Lemieux got stopped by Marco Antonio Rubio, and he lost to Josim Alcine, and he's shorter than Golovkin versus Charlo, who's taller and undefeated. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what are y'all really telling me? Again, to me, if Charlo fought Golovkin after this, let's say Golovkin beats Canelo, and then in December, Charlo fights Golovkin, that will be one of his top 3 wins if he can beat Charlo, along up there with Jacobs and Canelo. Mr. Spooner, you're very behind. He wants to unify. What's the big deal? See, people like you, you're part of the problem, because I've already expressed to you this whole situation. The whole thing is Team Triple G, the way they've moved, it's been convenient. To me, it's been convenient. They're like, oh, we want to unify the division. Yeah. And then people get behind that and people start saying that. Hey, what's the big deal? He doesn't have to fight Andre Ward. He wants to stay and unify the division. He doesn't have to move up and fight Gilberto Ramirez. He wants to stay and unify the division. But when the time came and Triple G had an opportunity to unify the division and fuck what Canelo was doing and possibly lose out on the money fight, they decided to wait. They decided to wait on Canelo and Canelo's decision making and Golden Boy's decision making and elect not to fight Billy Joe Saunders when Billy Joe Saunders had jumped back in the picture and he's like, I got me pinned, I'm ready to fight. And they were in negotiation with Frank Warren. So that's the problem. Team Golovkin, to me, is bouncing back from their priorities. First, they want to stay in unified division. Cool. I have no beef with that. But the moment you say you want to fight Carl Froch or Chavez Jr. at 68, then you open the floodgates to Zordo Ramirez and Andre Ward at 68. You can't just pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? And like, oh, hey, I only want to fight these two motherfuckers from 68. So that's what a lot of you fans keep doing. You act like fans are being, oh, Golovkin, he just wants to fight Billy Joe Saunders and be undisputed. What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is he could have already done that. You know what I'm saying? He could have already been undisputed, but he chose to wait on a money fight with Canelo. Now Charlo's pressing him, and it looks like we're gonna have to wait for that when you could have already been undisputed. So obviously that wasn't your highest priority. Money superseded that. You know what I'm saying? Let's say I have some kind of charity, right? I have a charity and I'm like, it's all about the kids. I don't give a fuck about money. It's all about helping these kids. But then I get offered some kind of money to go away, and it's going to require me to leave the kids for a time period, and then I take the money. So then what I said is no longer true, right? How am I going to say I don't care about the money and it's really about these kids, and then I get a big enough deal and then I leave the kids? So obviously what I said wasn't accurate, and that's what it is with Golovkin. Either your priority was legacy defining, right? Legacy defining and collecting all the belts, or it's not. That's what you told us. That's what you said. You said it was all about that. But then when the money got good, then you say, oh, hey, we're going to wait and see what Canelo's trying to do. That's the problem. It's really, I mean, the main message here is being congruent with you say. I don't give a fuck if Team Triple G came out and said, hey, we all about the money fights, the biggest events. I'll respect it because that's what they said. But they haven't consistently said that. They say all the belts. Golovkin just wants to unify all the belts. So that's that. Another thing is this. A lot of you motherfuckers, yes, you, look in the mirror, mirror on the wall. Look in the mirror, because a lot of you motherfuckers is fake as hell in this boxing game. And what you guys do is you criticize when it's not a fighter who matches whatever your criteria is, like Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather at the second half of his career, after proving a lot and beating more world champions, former champions, he fought and said like, yo, I want the biggest events, I want the flyest events, the biggest live gates, blah, blah, blah. What did they say? They criticized Floyd. They criticized Floyd and said, oh, this motherfucker don't care about his legacy. He just cares about big money fights, and all he cares about is money. That's why he nicknamed his self Money, because black people just like money and flashy things, and money, more problems, like Biggie said. They did all this stuff. Floyd don't care about legacy, right? But then now Golovkin can make decisions like fighting a welterweight for $5 million, Kell Brook, or waiting on being undisputed or attempting to become undisputed to fight Canelo. And then, oh, it's all good. It's all good that he did a money decision. And Golovkin ain't proved a fraction of what Floyd has career-wise. You know what I mean? But I guess he got the complexion for the protection. You know what I mean? Because why else would you bash Floyd for fighting? Oh, why did he fight? Why did he fight Robert Guerrero? He should have fought Keith Thurman. He fought this person instead of this person. Why you bash him for money fights or saying he wants money fights? But then you're all good and supportive that Golovkin wants money fights over Undisputed and shit like that. Yo, smash the like button. Y'all stopped and the likes just stayed at a certain level. Make sure y'all hit that like button if you're enjoying the little the live stream. Axeman, your comment is very corny. Very corny. But it's cool. Y'all can, I guess y'all can try. Doesn't hurt to throw out a couple jokes, even if no one's gonna laugh at them. But anyway, yeah, so that's the situation. That's the situation with Golovkin. I just feel like their Team Golovkin's priorities have shifted. They said 1 minute it's about all the belts and Undisputed, and it sounds good, sounds noble, but come to find out, it's no different than Canelo fighting Liam Smith or Khan because he knows he can make money doing it and not have the biggest risk. The Cali Enigma $5 Shmoney Gang, he says, funny how Triple G continues to duck black fighters. I don't want to hear any more about how that motherfucker's a killer. He's obviously not. He's a myth. Well, I would say, the only thing I would say is, I don't think he's ducking black fighters. He's ducking certain black fighters. Like, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't prefer to fight certain black fighters. Like Willie Monroe, that's all good. 6 knockouts, that's cool. But Jermall Charlo, how he's been looking, what has he done? He ain't done shit. Why should we fight him? Don't make sense, you know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. But like I said, I think Team Triple G enjoyed being in the boogeyman robe. You know what I mean? Oh, no one wants to fight us. They enjoyed saying that because it gives you the power. Like, oh, no one in my division wants to fight me. But then as soon as that changes, you start seeing different moves in different interviews. He didn't duck Jacobs, but he lost to Jacobs, in my opinion. And now he's not really trying to give a rematch. So that's that. Why are you guys saying, listen, I'm so sick of you casuals. You just say casual shit. Just because there's 2 different situations in boxing doesn't mean they're all apples and apples. He said, why you guys saying Triple G is ducking when he has an upcoming fight with Canelo? You guys give a pass to make excuses up for Tank to openly duck Loma. Tank is not a champion. Golovkin, the person in question, is a champion. He's a champion. And see, this is what they do. They deflect. They deflect. With Tank, what does Tank have to do? We don't even know who he's fighting in April 21st. You talking about Loma. Loma's leaving the division. Tank was a champion in his division too. Is he a champion right now? No. I will bet you $1,000 PayPal cash right now that Tank is not a champion with any sanctioning bodies right now. You want to take that bet? Do you want to take that bet? No, because you know you'll lose. Tank's not a champion. Golovkin has all the belts but one, right? In addition, we're talking about a recent interview from Abel Sanchez, and even though he is fighting Canelo, Abel Sanchez is basically saying that, first of all, Abel Sanchez, this is why it's going on, since you want to play dumb. Abel Sanchez believes his fighter beat Canelo and believes his fighter is going to beat Canelo again. So using Abel Sanchez's logic, Golovkin gets past. Hold on. Damn, there's like a seed from this fucking Fuck, hold on. Damn, there's like a seed from that smoothie that like flew down my throat. Anyway, this is why it's coming up. Abel Sanchez did that interview recently, and in it, Abel Sanchez, who believes Golovkin beat Canelo and believes Golovkin is going to get past Canelo, right? I mean, what trainer is going to say, "Oh, my fighter's going to lose to the next man," right? So obviously, he's talking to Dante's Boxing Nation under the pretense that his fighter beats Canelo, and he's still saying that a fight with Charlo, why should we fight him? That's the problem. You're like, oh, why? He already has a fight coming up with Canelo. Why are you guys talking to him? Because he believes the fighter is going to get past Canelo, and he's still saying, in addition to that, he's still saying, why should we fight Charlo? That's why it's coming up. And again, you guys try your damnedest. You always bring up people who have nothing to do with it. What does Tank have to do with middleweights? You know what I'm saying? You throw a random person in it. You know what I'm saying? If Michael Jackson is in court for molestation case, I'm like, oh, but what about Prince? MC Hammer, he used to babysit, and I heard story. Like, what does anybody else have to do other than the people who are being charged? You get what I'm saying? Like, this conversation right now, at least, is about Triple G and Charlo, and you bringing up Tank, and he's like, yeah, you guys said Tank and Loma. Who's even talking about Tank? You know what I mean? And the fact is, Lomachenko, from what it sounds like, is moving to 135. So they're not going to even be in the same division. So it looks like Tank Davis lucked out, right? And the worst part about it is like, and another reason why I'm saying this stuff for the Golovkin situation is he could have already fought Billy Joe Saunders. And you've seen, listen, if you guys know boxing and scoring and 3 judges, Golovkin, in a lot of people's eyes, almost got robbed in the Canelo fight. Meaning, if one judge didn't have it how they had it, like a draw or whatever, then that means Golovkin would have lost. Even if it was unjust or unfair, he would have lost and lost all his belts. Now he's getting ready to rematch Canelo, who maybe can pull away and beat him. You know what I mean? That's not out of the question. And then now, you had a chance to become undisputed on your own terms, which is something that no matter what, no one could take away from you, and you chose not to, chasing Canelo. So now he's gonna feel real crazy and feel real crunchy if he fights Canelo and loses, because now you lose your belts, and then you won't be able to get undisputed, or at least right away. So I mean, I just think, you can't let no one else dictate your career. That's what it really boils down to. And I think over the last couple of years, somebody proved me wrong on this. Look at Golovkin, the pace in which he was moving, even though they weren't like the biggest names, but he was at least fighting like 2-3 times a year, right? He was still fighting every couple months or whatever you want to say, right? And ever since the Canelo situation started getting hot and hot, he's been working at a Canelo pace. Canelo's the youthful guy. Canelo's the younger one. You know what I mean? So all this waiting shit actually benefits Canelo more than it does a 35, 36-year-old Golovkin. You get what I'm saying? So it doesn't make sense to put your career in the hands of another man like that, because Canelo has time. You know what I mean? He can wait this out and like, oh, I'm fighting on Mexican dates only, because he's still young. You know what I mean? He's still under 30, 27, 28, or whatever he is. Golovkin's not. You know what I mean? And Golovkin's playing the game. Golovkin fought in September, and he could have fought Billy Joe Saunders, but he chose to, well, we want to see what Canelo's doing first. You know what I mean? Now, from September to May, he's inactive. Versus when he was doing his own thing, he'll fight in like April, then come back and fight a couple months later, and then come back and fight towards the end of the year. You know what I mean? So Canelo and Golden Boy, very strategic, but they've slowed down his pacing a lot. Oh my gosh. It seems like you're a hater of champions, and it seems like you're blocked. I don't have time for the little stupid shit. Why would I hate champions? What kind of dumb shit is that? Yeah, I think you hate champion. Okay. How you feel about Jacobs versus Charlo? I feel like you guys are deflecting from Golovkin and you want him out the hot seat. So you guys keep bringing up Charlo and Jacobs. That's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. It's a good fight, but it doesn't make as much sense for Charlo, who's rated #1, to fight this guy with an undefeated record and belts, to just say, oh, I'm gonna fight Jacobs with 2 losses and no belts. That isn't, what sense does that make? It's a good fight. You know what I'm saying? I think you guys just keep deflecting. You know what I mean? It's the same thing in multiple weight divisions. You know what I mean? Deontay Wilder is calling for Joshua. Then I see UK fans, but fight Dillian White. Nobody's talking about Dillian White and Wilder. You know what I mean? You notice how they always throw a pawn out or like a substitute fight? What about Demetrius Andrade and Charlo? That's a good fight. But what about Triple G and Charlo? How about that? You know what I'm saying? That's all you have to do. Just keep centering it and redirecting them. What about Jacobs versus Charlo? What about Charlo versus Triple G? What about Boo Boo Andrade versus Charlo? What about Golovkin versus Charlo? You know what I'm saying? Like, what about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I actually think the Charlo Golovkin fight is a more entertaining fight than Billy Joe Saunders. I think it'll be more explosive. Not really deflecting too many guys sitting on the sideline. Jacobs is getting ready to fight that Suchek dude. And Charlo's fighting March 3rd. Golovkin's fighting May 5th. Who's on the sidelines? What are you talking about? Canelo's getting ready to fight. Billy Joe Saunders is fighting Martin Murray. Who's on the sidelines? What are you talking about? Yeah, Charlo, he has a very good jab. Golovkin has a very good jab. The height difference. You know what I mean? The Billy Joe Saunders, we already know Billy Joe, he's going to try to fight like David Lemieux and just probably take less risks in terms of like playing around in there. So, oh yeah, I mean, since y'all, I'm gonna read this too. And Wilder responded to me too. Listen. Y'all some of y'all gonna get mad, but I don't care. I tweeted this. I got a question. Y'all love to say Wilder 39-0 ain't fought no one, knowing motherfuckers be failing drug tests or bypassing him. But who did Julio Cesar Chavez fight to get to 89-0, which he is praised for, right? And then I clarify, because in the tweet, I'm just tweeting real quick, so I wanted to clarify. I said, I don't care who mad. If you can intelligently answer the question, then don't at me. For the record, I love Chavez Sr. as a fighter and legend in the game. I just need to know who he fought in the first 89 fights that he gets praised for, especially if you look at his first 39 fights, LOL, versus Bronze Bomber, who gets clowned for an inadequate resume of 39-0. Or you could even say Canelo up to the Austin Trout fight. Canelo didn't fight Trout until his 41st pro fight. Tell me the difference or silence. I'm out. Listen. We're going to break this down. See, this is what I'm saying. I'm not fucking around with these live streams. Y'all can say whatever in comment sections and stuff. Now you got this. This ain't Berto. You fucking with the real one. Like Floyd said. Like this is the real deal now. Right? This is the real deal now. I can actually speak back. So, a lot of people try to play fucking games. Don't play with me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, hey, but in his first 89 fights, he fought Pernell Whitaker. Okay, so you guys get the moral of the story. What I'm basically saying is early in his career, look at who he was fighting. I mean, look at his first 50 fights. You know what I mean? First, he definitely lost to Pernell, and that was some bullshit. But yeah, his first 50 fights. So listen to what people do. Listen to what people do. Wilder, he's 39-0. and they trash his resume. Oh, he ain't fought shit. Even though it's a heavyweight division, one punch can change everything. Yet Julio Cesar Chavez, when he was 50, 55 and 0, who did he really fight? Who was he really fighting at that time? And he's just regarded as a legend. And then you hear people making excuses. Oh, but to fight 50, 89 people and not get knocked out or not lose in this amount of fights, that's still saying something. Yeah, but he's still fighting a lower level of opposition. You know what I mean? And that's what it boils down to. So why is Wilder under this immense scrutiny for his 39-0? Or, like I said, Canelo, listen to me. We'll use Canelo. Canelo did not fight Austin Trout until his 41st fight. When Canelo fought Mayweather, they had about the same amount of fights. The difference being Floyd's resume was shitting on Canelo's resume. So Canelo, who did he really beat in those first 40 fights before he got to his 41st fight with Austin Trout? Who did he beat? Like that was an even match. Like he beat name like a Shane Mosley, Carlos Baldomir, but Shane was 40. Carlos Baldomir was 41. So it's like, who did he really beat? Jose Miguel Cotto, Matthew Hatton, Ryan Rose, Josito Lopez. Who was Canelo really beating? Now, don't get it twisted. Canelo's resume is dope as fuck right now. Because after Austin Trout, it got on and cracking. Start fighting Floyds and Ladas, and you know, it took the training wheels off. Corey Bell's $5 super chat. Keep it up, Ego. Will Arrow ever get unified? I don't know, because that WBO belt usually stays on like top rank side of things, so that's gonna be something. He could unify with Thurman though. So anyway, somebody answer that. Why is Deontay Wilder ridiculed for 39-0? Yet Canelo, who did he fight in his first 40 fights? See, y'all motherfuckers gotta Google and stuff, because I know you don't know. Who did Canelo fight in his first 40 fights? Because he's black? Sounds like it. Who did Canelo fight in his first 40 fights? See, listen, when I posted this on Instagram, it was a bunch of this. Now I'm here live to discuss it, and it's a bunch of this. So explain to me. Explain to me why, like, everyone keeps saying like, oh, why should Wilder get the Joshua fight? He fought nothing but bums. Canelo got an Austin Trout and a Mayweather fight, and he didn't fight really anyone in his first 40 fights. You know what I mean? So what are we talking about, people? And why we keep saying that Wilder ain't fought? And especially when you know Wilder could have fought a gold medalist in Povetkin, and we know what happened with that fight. That would have been a certified win if he were to beat Povetkin and everything. Who did Julio Cesar Chavez fight in his first 39 fights? I'm asking. Sounds like Greg's comments before he got beat up by Chavez. Well, let's see if Chavez beats me up. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Y'all say stupid shit. Sounds like his comments before he got beat up. Okay. I'll wait for that to happen. Anyway, who did Chavez Jr. fight? I mean, Senior. Who did he fight in his first 39 fights? Here, I'm on this thing right now. Okay, so there's an even learning curve. All these guys were on their debut. Fought a motherfucker who was 0-4. Just so you guys see. They were all on their debut. 0-4, debut. 0-2, 1-5, 2-3-0, 6-12, debuts, 2-0. This Lotta motherfucker was 0-7, 19-13, 0-1, 21-3, 6-5. Like, who are it? I call them Skittles resume. 0-2. You know what I mean? Is this 39 fights yet? And then he got to Roger Mayweather, who was 21-2 at the time. So when he fought Roger Mayweather, let's find out. Hold on, because he fought with Chavez twice, so I want to get the right one. So when he fought Roger Mayweather, that was his 46th fight. So I didn't recognize none of them fucking names until his 46th fight. And I didn't recognize their resume. 0-2, 4-4, 1-6, back-to-back 0-1 guys. You know what I'm saying? So once again, everyone's on Wilder's case. Oh, fucking Wilder. What? He hasn't fought no. Who did Chavez fight in his first 40 fights? Just like Wilder. You know what I mean? And no one says this. And then people get mad. I had a lot of people get mad. Oh, you're fucking a disgrace, ego. Whatever. As long as you don't prove me wrong, I'll be a disgrace. I'll be whatever you say. You know what I mean? Someone's like, you're bashing a legend. I'm not bashing a legend. I'm asking you. I'm asking you, like, see, the game is so fucked up right now where if you say things and support it with fact, show the proof, they'll still say it's a lie. Like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is on Extra. You hear his voice talking about, yeah, grab her right in the pussy. They love that. And then Donald Trump later came out and said, apologize for it. And then later came out and says, that wasn't me. That wasn't my voice. That they doctored it up. What the fuck? Like, this is with the society we live in right now. We hear your voice talking about grab her in the pussy, and you apologize for it, and then you later denounce it and say that wasn't you. I don't know. I don't remember if that was me. That doesn't sound like me. What? You know what I'm saying? They say, oh, you're bashing a legend. I'm bashing a legend? What? How am I bashing? I'm asking a question. You know what I'm saying? I'm asking a question. I'm showing you what I think. Now, don't get it twisted. When Chavez stepped up and fought better names, he still held his own, so he's still a good fighter. But I'm just saying, why for this immense hatred for Wilder? Oh, 39 fights, all bums. Who did Chavez Sr. fight in his 39 fights? That's what I'm talking about. Yo, ego, if Ortiz beats Wilder, what does Wilder do from there? I mean, he does what anybody that takes a loss does. Go back to the drawing board. See, and this is how I can tell, like, listen, this is how I can tell the difference between, like, boxing fans and fanboys. People always ask me questions like, oh, what if so-and-so loses? What are you going to say then? I mean, if so-and-so loses, they lose. Like, y'all get this boxing shit all the way twisted. You know what I mean? Like, if Wilder loses to Ortiz, bravo to Luis Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? Like, people act like if a fighter gets their ass whooped, that's you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're Siamese twins or something, and I feel the pain. Oh, fuck, I'm getting knocked out too. That's not how it works. You know what I mean? Like, people like, what are you gonna say if Golovkin beats Canelo? I'm gonna say, good job, Golovkin. That's what I'm saying. You guys think if you have a point or a criticism or a question or critique, they say you hate this person. Like, it's not, literally not that serious to me. No, I'm just saying in general. It's not necessarily, that wasn't aimed at you particularly. I'm just saying people are too in their feelings. Yeah, there's clearly a double standard. when it comes to black fighters. I mean, like I said, prove it wrong. We waiting? I just showed you. That's his box rec. Who did Chavez Jr. fight in his first 40 fights? A lot of people said I was crazy and I was stupid and shit on Instagram. So, where's your counter argument? Exactly. All quiet on the Western Front, as expected. That's what I'm talking about. This is why we do the live streams, and it's fun as hell because you see the opinions switch up. Even if they still feel the same way, they don't want to step up to that hot seat to reveal it. You could do it in a comment because you know people could just look at that, and there's no guarantee that the author is going to respond to it. But anyway, I just don't understand. Like here's my other question. This is a lot of times what they do with black fighters too, is if you, I guess, support them or talk in praise of them, anything other than bash them with certain guys, then they always bring up some like homoerotic innuendo. Like, oh, you're really tugging Wilder's dick, man. You're on Wilder's nuts. You're giving him a lap dance. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Because I enjoy what someone brings to the fight game. You on some old different shit. You know what I mean? I ain't say shit about Wilder. Like, I'm not like, yo, look at Wilder's sexy ass. This is fucking Adam's apple. Like, you guys are on some weird freak fetish shit. Always talking about, oh yeah, you love that bronze dick. Like, fuck are you talking about? I ain't never said nothing about Wilder's personal life, Wilder's this and that. I'm talking about what he's doing in boxing right now. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? Knocking people out, calling people out. I'm good with that. You know what I mean? Y'all bringing up some old extra shit. I will holla, ego, love your content, watch you every day. Man, I appreciate you. Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. People are too weirdos and shit in their feelings. Like, oh yeah, you love to see Wilder strain. You love this fit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Cause I enjoy a good call out every now and then, motherfuckers. I like knockouts. But like I said, the game is fake. It's full of fake shit. What does Wilder not do that Golovkin does? That Golovkin does. Like when Golovkin was knocking people out and people loved it, why don't they love it when Wilder does it? Like, I don't understand it. You know what I mean? Or even Lomachenko. People keep praising Lomachenko. He's getting like, I give up stoppages. And people love that. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, Loma. He stopped him. No Masenchenko. They come to all these clever names and shit. What about Wilder? He's knocking motherfuckers out. He's more... Hey, see, this is just my honest opinion. I'm not saying this because I'm American, but Wilder's more charismatic. He's more charismatic than Golovkin and Lomachenko in terms of pre-fight buildup. Like, see, the thing is, Wilder is going to say whatever he wants to say. Like, you know what I mean? Even if people agree or don't agree, he's willing to do that. Like, oh, I'll beat prime Mike Tyson. I'll knock Joshua out. I'll knock Ortiz out in 3. I mean, that's his opinion. He's willing to put that out there. I never really see Golovkin, like, he doesn't really say, no, I respect him. No, like, he doesn't really build up fights. Like, when I watch Golovkin fights, it's never really for the build up, or at least on his side. It's not like I'm just like, man, I can't wait to get home to watch this Golovkin build up, because he, you know what I mean, very mild mannered, very classy, very humble. You know what I mean? But he's not like a Conor McGregor. Wilder has much better English. And then why don't English American people respect him much better? If you can understand him and he's helping to build the fight. And that's a cop-out. Golovkin speaks perfect English. I have no problem. When he first came, I didn't understand all of what he was saying all the time. But I mean, it's a person that you're making excuses like they always do. It's Golovkin's English. Like I can understand what he's saying perfectly. He's just not saying nothing like the most who say, "Man, no, they're clowns." Like guys are clowns. That stuff is cool, but he's not. You know what I mean? He don't really go in like a Conor McGregor or Floyd or Broner or Wilder or something. And like I said, people hate Wilder, criticize Wilder. I mean, the game is so fucked up, man. The game is so fucked up. Like even like people get mad when I say this. Danny Garcia has a good ass resume. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all are talking about. And he gets hate too. Like, oh, Danny Bum Garcia cherry pick. Y'all be calling the wrong people the most cherries and shit. Danny Garcia got a good ass resume. What are you talking about? Why is he the king of cherries and shit? Because he fought a couple fights that no one wanted to see? Or got a gift decision or something? Like, you know what I'm saying? The game is crazy to me. Who has a better resume than Danny Garcia that's under 30? At welterweight. Exactly. Look at all the numbers. That's what I'm saying, man. But let people say it. See, y'all don't even think. Y'all just some of y'all just repeat what others say and run with it. Keith Thurman does not have a better resume than Danny Garcia. I should put you in the hot seat. Fuck no, Keith Thurman doesn't have a better resume. You guys sound trash. Listen, I dare someone to say Keith. Next person that put Keith Thurman is in the hot seat. We'll go right now. So if you really want to ride and say Keith Thurman has a better resume than Danny Garcia, put Keith Thurman. That's all you have to put. That's all you have to put is if you type Keith Thurman in the next 30 seconds, you in the hot seat. Talking about Keith Thurman got a better resume. Look, I'm still waiting. We got about 20 seconds left. I dare someone to put Keith Thurman has a better resume. Yeah, y'all can play games and put Keith Lerman and all this. All right, we got a hot seat. And I knew someone's. Oh, y'all misspelled it. That's funny. Someone spelled the I before the E. I'm not gonna count that. You have to spell it his real way. Someone almost got me. I was about to put someone in the hot seat, and I seen they spelled Keith wrong. They spelled I-E-T-H. That was pretty funny. I'll give you that. That's really fucking funny because I was itchy on the trigger finger. I was like, Keith. Oh, that's not Keith. That's not how you spell it. That was funny. Whoever put that. Y'all are assholes. Putting these fake Keith Thurman misspellings and shit. Anyway, Keith Thurman don't have a better resume. Listen, Keith Thurman, his resume didn't even really get good until Sean Porter. To me, Sean Porter and Danny Garcia. Now, Danny Garcia fought Keith Thurman fought Danny Garcia, so that kind of cancels each other out because they fought each other, right? Danny fought Robert Guerrero, Zab Judah, Lucas Matisse when Matisse was murdering motherfuckers. I'm talking about win, lose, or draw. Mauricio Herrera, Ashley Theophane, Eric Morales twice. Who else did it? Robert the Ghost Guerrero, Paulie Malignaggi, Amir Khan, thank you. Amir Khan, Lamont Peterson. Who else did the motherfucker fight? Zab Judah. Who else did he fight? I already said Lamont Peterson. Nate Campbell, I think, or Kendall Holt. Yeah, his resume is stupid. What are you talking about? Yeah, he did fight Keith Thurman, but like I said, it's that kind of canceled each other out because they fought each other. So again, you look at Keith Thurman's resume, take away Danny Garcia because that kind of cancels it. They fought each other, and look at who else he fought: Sean Porter, and then who else? Julio Diaz. Yeah, and he's about to fight Brandon Rios now, so that'll be another one. He fought Soto Caras, Diego Chavez. So who's more historic in the fight game, Diego Chavez or Zab Judah, or Eric Morales or Diego Chavez? You know what I'm saying? It's no comparison. Where despite of Eric Morales, you felt he was older or whatever, or Zab Judah was old. They're still legends. You know what I mean? Diego Chavez just got knocked out by random Jermall. So, yeah, man, Danny, that's what I'm saying. Fans gotta get with it. Oh yeah, I forgot about the homie Rod Salka. That might be his best win. That Rod Salka shit. Yeah, the day the earth stood still, Rod Salka. Y'all funny. But you know what the craziest thing about this game is? I noticed is the fakeness in the game. Like, for example, there are certain people that if you had a checklist of everything you say you want fighters to do, you would have to give them, at least right now, you would have to check that bubble. And those fighters still don't get the credit. You still have people who are like complaining. For example, people, okay. Let's say Tank Davis. A lot of people think Tank Davis is ducking Lomachenko. You know what I mean? Obviously, his promoter and talking about, oh, we're not worried about Lomachenko. So that's an easy conclusion to make. You know what I mean? I don't know if Tank wants to fight and Mayweather Promotions doesn't, but it does seem like Mayweather Promotions or whatever doesn't want to have him fight Lomachenko. They want to build him up, gain him more experience, right? That being said, people detest it. They're like, oh, fucking Tank, why are you ducking Loma? Duck season, right? They're doing all this extra shit. So that's what you hate. Fast forward to the heavyweight division. Deontay Wilder is calling out Joseph Parker. He says he'll fight Tyson Fury and wants Tyson Fury to come back. He says he'll fight Anthony Joshua. He's calling out, he's at Joshua's throat. And what do? They make excuses. Those same people who said that they're so angry that Tank don't want to fight Lomachenko, when Wilder is calling out everybody, talking shit like, I'm the best. Prove me wrong. Run, Joshua. Run. I just want to catch your body so bad. You know how Deontay Wilder be putting he be doing his eyes all crazy, like, Luis Ortiz, I blessed you. I don't bless you again. I just want to catch your body so bad. Wilder be kind of scary. He be like acting like he really want to kill someone. I just want to catch me a body. Now don't go mess this up. I blessed you twice. But anyway, he calling out everybody saying that I'm the best in the division. Prove me wrong. I'm so frustrated. That's some country ass shit. Yo, Deontay Wilder, you country as hell. That motherfucker said, I'm frustrated. He flustered and frustrated. That's how you know he from the country. I'm so frustrated right now. I just want to catch a body. Oh, Povetkin don't want to fight me fair. I'm so frustrated. Y'all be making up words in that South shit. Fintu and shit. Man, I'm finna make me a sandwich. I'm so frustrated right now. Like, what the fuck? Fintu and frustrated? Anyway, I'm on Webster's dictionary and shit. Fintu? Man, this shit ain't how you spell Fintu. I'm so frustrated right now. Luis Ortiz, I blessed you. I bless you. Not once, but twice. I just want to catch it. Bermain Stavern, remember what you said, Bermain. But anyway, yeah, so I'm so frustrated, man. I just don't get it. I don't get it what is Wilder not doing? See, like I said, ego, y'all big niggas say some weird shit too. But no, we don't make up words. Oh, actually we do. Like E40 be making up. I remember E40 had a song, he was like,
Been about my cash ever since I was a little young mustache.
Like you couldn't just say since you was a teenager. He said,
Been about my cash ever since I was a little young mustache.
anyway,
Yar. Yar me.
yeah, man. I'm just saying what is, and then if you like people are, oh, you're so biased for Wilder. What? Okay, listen. I'm gonna give y'all fucking idiots the opportunity to answer this for me. And you know who I'm talking to. I'm talking about the actual idiots. People, oh, you're so biased for Wilder. So what is Wilder doing that I should be hating him for? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, explain that to me. People saying, "Oh, you just love Wilder." It's not that I love him and all this extra weird shit. What is he doing that I should not be celebrating? That I should be angry about? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if it's perceived that Tank doesn't want to fight Loma, y'all say y'all hate that. Wilder at least is going for the gusto and calling out the best people in this division, saying he's gonna knock him out, and there will be one name, and Joshua don't want to fight me, Eddie Hearn don't want to fight. You know what I'm saying? What is he? What should I be angry? What should I be protesting Wilder for? His resume, once again. What about Julio Cesar Chavez? 39 fights. You know what I mean? Why don't people bring that up? Why don't they bring up Canelo's first 40 fights? You get what I'm saying? So that it's not about, oh, you love this guy. It's what should I be angry? It's the same thing with Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. Why should I be angry with them? Like, what are they doing wrong? Charlo's even. What are they doing? Charlo fought back-to-back mandatories in the same year that were talking hella shit to him. Erickson Lubin and Charles Hatley, one a hometown rival, a Texas rival, and the other one was a hot prospect, and he knocked them both out. I mean, why would I not celebrate that? Why would I be like this and that? You know what I'm saying? If people are like, oh, you're just jocking Wilder. I mean, so what? So what's there not to like? That's what I'm trying to understand. They want Wilder to fight for 10% of the purse. Yeah, that sounds about right. Man, we gonna restore the feeling, man. Y'all care more about people's purses and bank accounts and shit. I don't care about that. Unless Wilder or AJ gonna trip me out, I don't really care what they make. They can fight for charity. I just want to see it. I'll give you a reason. What about Wilder versus Charlie Z? Corny. Try again. Or yeah, Ortiz is definitely no pushover. I mean, Wilder, I would say he has to be more Bermane Stiverne one fight than like Artur Spilka. He doesn't want it like Spilka was like crafty and touching him a little bit in them early rounds. Pause. So he don't want to have that happen with Luis Ortiz because he just has too much power to be kind of, you know what I mean, playing around or getting hit too much. But if he wins emphatically, then that's crazy because Luis Ortiz I really rate. How about when they say Wilder needs to earn his spot? But listen, how can this, okay, listen what people do. This shit is a catch-22. All the people that say, oh, you need to earn their spot, they're usually pursuing the bigger fights. And they can't necessarily get them because motherfuckers know they're a threat. For example, I've seen people say, oh, Terrence Crawford, his resume is not that good. His resume not that good. That Terrence Howard voice. You know what I mean? So how you gonna say Terrence Crawford's resume is not that good? You're gonna say that, right? But you know that Manny Pacquiao didn't want no work with Terrence Crawford. His team didn't want no work. It's evident by what they've said. And it's evident because Bob Arum was trying to make the fight and the fight still ain't fucking made. So how can Terrence Crawford achieve the resume that would give people credit when Jeff Horn gets the fight before Terrence Crawford? Do you get what I'm saying? Pacquiao had no reservations, him and his team, about fighting Jeff Horn, even though they probably underestimated him, thought it was going to be an easy fight, but they were down to do it. And they were even down to do it in Australia. Yet they don't want to fight Crawford in a neutral place like Vegas or New York, because they could have been made it, because Bob Arum already told you for years he wants to make that fight because he wins either way, whether Pacquiao wins or if Crawford wins. Either way, Top Rank wins. Bob Arum wins. So once again, how can these fighters achieve Charlo? How can if you think that Jermall Charlo's resume is soft, and then Golovkin's own promoter is talking about, oh yeah, we're not gonna fight Charlo. What has he done? Unless we're made to fight him. So how can he get the name? Once again, black murderers row. All the black people got to fight each other. You know what I'm saying? Danny Jacobs got to fight Charlo. Charlo got to fight Andre, because you don't care about the outcome, because you don't care who loses. But if it's Canelo up in there with Charlo, or if it's Triple G, you care about the outcome. You want a certain person to win. You know what I mean? That's what it has to be. Same thing with Errol Spence. People making excuses why the Keith Thurman fight should never happen, and Errol Spence needs to wait his turn, and just crazy to let Keith Thurman heal. All this shit. So how's he going to prove himself if he can't get the Keith Thurman fight despite how hard he's pushing? Yo, we're just under. Make sure you smash the like button so we can get over 200. We're real close to 200 likes. We got to get over that hump. But that's what I'm saying, man. We got to more people and more real fans got to start celebrating the people who are doing it right. Period. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. Like Keith Thurman. See, people say I hate Keith Thurman now. I don't hate him. I interviewed Keith Thurman. He's a cool dude. If he was down to work with me, I would work with him again. I would interview him again. It's nothing personal, but the way he has acted recently, to me, has switched. He used to be the Errol Spence of the division. Do you know what I'm saying? He used to be the feared guy that he seemed like too much of a risk. You don't really want to fight. But now he's let Errol Spence and maybe even Crawford, depending on how Crawford looks, which he should do well, he's let them slide into that spot of the new killers in the division, and he seems less hungry. So, you know what I mean? Like, I just go with the times. Like, I can't, when you had never heard me, like, this is what I'm saying. People, you hate Keith Thurman, you're so biased, right? But you ain't never heard me say anything about Keith Thurman until he was linked to fight Errol Spence, and he started saying different things. Same thing with Wilder Joshua. Oh, you just hate Anthony Joshua. You hate the UK. I never said anything even constructively really criticism. I just said the only thing I can ever remember saying is he's too big and he should go back down for speed and stamina reasons. But I barely even said any criticisms, or I like Joshua. But then this whole Wilder shit came out, and then now they say, oh, you hate Joshua. So I seem to hate everybody, apparently. I think Joshua and Wilder will fight. Listen, heavyweight division is cool, but there's only so many names, like, you know what I mean, top level names. So it's like they're gonna have to fight each other, because I mean, certain fights don't make sense. You know what I mean? People are gonna get tired of seeing like Joshua versus Amir Mansour type fights. You know what I mean? Carlos Takam, Kubrat Pulev. They're not gonna want to keep seeing those, like guys with minimal fan bases, minimal shot to win. Wilder is Ray Donovan says Wilder is a terrible boxer with a knockout punch. That's it. Once again, you sound like a casual, because listen, you're not even breaking down. You just repeat what everyone else says. And I cannot stand Deontay Wilder, especially after his ridiculous comments about Mike Tyson. See, the proof is in the pudding. I told you. I mean, you clearly don't like the man. That's what this new generation of millennials is like really like moist. Yes, I am serious. He said, bro, seriously? Yeah, like y'all be hating people you don't even know. I fucking hate him. Like they do that to me. Like, oh, like I'll do one video and you don't agree with it. I'm fucking unsubscribing. I hate you. Like, cause you didn't agree with one thing I've said. So despite 4,000 other videos, cause you didn't agree with this one thing, I'm unsubscribing. You know what I mean? It's just emotional shit. And like, what is he supposed to say? Oh, Mike Tyson would knock me the fuck out. And actually, Tyson Fury did that. You know what I mean? After Wilder said he would knock out Tyson Fury said, man, Mike Tyson would knock me out. You know what I mean? To get some credit and pay respects to a legend. And Mike Tyson did a response video. He's like, hey, he's like, Tyson, I seen your video. You got to be more confident in that. You don't know it's a fight. Who knows who to win? I look forward to seeing you. You know what I'm saying? Tyson was telling him, like, you got to have more confidence. You're saying I would have knocked you out. Have more confidence in yourself. People are soft as fuck. I mean, clearly. Wilder says one thing you don't like, and oh, I really can't stand him now. Fucking Wilder. You know what I mean? I didn't like him before, but he said that about Tyson. What about all the crazy shit Mike Tyson fuck around and said about, yeah, you know, can they rob me of my money, can I at least get a blowjob? I don't normally answer questions from females unless they trying to fornicate, so. You trying to fornicate? You don't want to fornicate? Like, what? I mean, so you love that. He's like, Lennox, I'm coming for you, sweetie. I'm gonna eat your kids. I'm gonna make some toast and orange juice. Like, but Wilder says his opinion. Like, this game is, y'all are draining. Some of y'all are draining. I really can't stand Wilder now after these comments. Fucking Wilder. This fucking prick's so cocky. I'm not tripping. I'm just tired of boxing fans, to be honest. This fucking dark-skinned Wilder guy from Alabama. Said he'll beat Mike Tyson. Now, I told y'all, Mike Tyson is my favorite fighter. Him and Roy Jones, Prince Nassim, and Ali. There's a chance Wilder could beat Tyson just because he's 6'7". You know what I mean? And he's knocking motherfuckers out. You know what I mean? So it's, I'm not saying he would, absolutely. I don't know. Honestly, I don't. That's actually kind of hard. He's athletic and he's 6'7". He's listen. I'm tall. He's legit 6'7". Like he's big. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Mike Tyson was crafty too with the head movement. It's like, I'm gonna eat his kid. Like, so I don't know. I really don't know who would win. Because at one, you could say Mike Tyson's like uppercuts and stuff, and he's used to fighting taller guys, so it's possible. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, fans are like super soft. It's like, why would fighters, as a fighter, why would you show the vulnerability of like not being confident? You know what I'm saying? I don't get that. Like, I mean, they're fighters. They're supposed to be confident in their skill. Nobody can beat me. Y'all really want that? Like, y'all want insecure, like, unsure-ass boxers? Like, I don't know. I think I can beat him. I mean, I'm going to train hard, but I heard he trains hard, so I don't know if I can beat him, man. Like, is that what y'all want in the boxing game? Some of y'all are fucking weak. Weak-minded. Hey, listen, my message, you should be confident in everything that you do. You know what I mean? If you have a YouTube, be like, God damn it, I'm the best YouTube. You know what I mean? These other dudes ain't fuck with me. I'm creative. My thumbnails look better. I got better titles. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I tell people, I mean, there's a lot of good YouTube channels and I mean, I want to believe that what I do is unique and I do things my way, and hopefully people relate to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You want me to be, oh, I mean, I don't know. I think my channel is cool, but there's a lot of cool boxing channels out there for you to choose from. And I'm gonna be like, no, motherfucker, my channel's the best. My live stream, my audience, we get it popping. I deliver the news. You know what I mean? My boxing. I mean, why would I? Ray Donovan, you've been pressed your luck. Bye bye, Ray Donovan. Get your ass out of here. Ego, in my opinion, you got the best boxing channel. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Ultimately I let the fans decide, but I mean, there's no shame in being proud of. Like, for me, if I'm quote unquote cocky about something, it's because I worked for it. Nothing came easy, no handout. So if I think my channel is the best, it's because I got to it. I never came through the floodgates and day one talking about my channel is the best. Do you know what I'm saying? But through hard work, consistency, then I will say, yeah, man, I think my channel is the best. Shout out to El Paso, Texas. You know what I mean? The insight, the different things. So, I mean, that's just how I feel. You know what I mean? The same thing for these fighters. Like, what do you want them to be unsure of themselves? You want Deontay Wilder? I don't know, Anthony Joshua, he's pretty buff and looks like he hits hard. I don't know. What if I get hit and it knocks my kufi off? Like, what fight? I would dread boxing if the fighters was talking like that. I mean, even if the fighter's wrong, I would still prefer the confident. Like Conor McGregor, I don't know what you're thinking. You'll do fucking none. Like, he talked all that shit to Floyd. You need to do that. You got to believe in yourself, even though the shit wasn't true. You know what I'm saying? He got his ass beat by Floyd, but still, you know what I mean? I would at least prefer you to go. Just imagine if like, let's say you're about to have some kind of surgery and the doctor sounded all unsure, like, hey, can you perform this blood transfusion? I don't know. I mean, I've taken the classes and the courses and I passed, but I mean, it's a complicated procedure. I think I could do it. I'll be like, man, can I get another surgeon? This motherfucker's scaring me. You know what I mean? Who wants anything that's uncertain, like unconfident? I'll be scared as fuck if I'm about to have a surgery and the motherfucker sound all insecure and unsure of himself. Hey, I think I can do it, but I hope I don't mess up. I'll be like, hell no. I'll be like, guard. Hell no. One of my favorite people in this whole world, like someone I looked up to, Bruce Lee. I mean, he says it. He says, are you really as good as people say? And he says, if I tell you I'm good, you'll say that I'm boasting. He says, but if I tell you I'm good, you'll say that I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm no good, then you'll know I'm lying. Straight up. If I tell you I'm good, then you'll say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, then you know I'm lying. So that's how I look at it, man. Be confident. If you're a singer, if you're a fucking construction worker, mortician, be the best mortician or whatever the fuck that you can be. Y'all are really tripping in it in this comment section. This shit is funny. But yeah, so I don't have problem when fighters are believing themselves. You know what I mean? I told you, like, I mean, y'all think I'm joking. Someone just asked me about Broner. Is Broner done? I told you I don't really have much to say about Broner. I'm gonna still give you, like, I'm not covering him, or if I see him, it's not like I won't interview him like that, but I don't really have much to say. It's like, for the last couple of years, I've covered him and I've said everything I needed. I got an old video from like before a lot of you guys probably follow me, when my channel was a lot smaller, maybe 5 years ago. No, not five, probably like 4 years ago. And I said, is Broner the next Zab Judah? I mean, the video's still up because he got like a drunk. He got kicked out of a club and arrested for drunkenness, public drunkenness or some shit. And I made that video. So it's like over the years, I've already said so much about like my opinion on what Broner can or should do. So I'm just gonna sit back and view and see what happens. Wish them the best of luck. I'll still cover Broner, but I really don't have much to say. Like, I mean, it's just too, like I said, the other day he had that rant where he posted 9 different text messages or whatever, and he's like, fuck my mom, fuck my dad, fuck y'all, fuck my kids, or fuck y'all kids, or whatever. And then the next day they're all deleted. He's posted pictures of shoes, like, look at my nice shoes. And he was like, everyone has bad days. And then he posted a text message to his mom and dad talking about, mom and dad, I had a bad day, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? After you just said fuck your mom and fuck your dad. So I don't really have nothing to say. I mean, that's how it is for him. Like I said, I wish him the best. But I do know, I think that Omar Figueroa is going to be a good fight. You know what, truth be told, I think Danny Garcia versus Rios is a good fight. Like a good like, listen. See, one thing I can assure you from my channel that you're going to get from my channel is like authenticity and like breakdowns. A lot of people out there, it's just, they'll, like, I'm not trying to sound cocky or like limit no one's success, but I really feel like a lot of people, ultimately, they won't make it in this game. They're not going to make it. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to grow to a level of my channel or Fight Hype or Ellie or whatever because of how their approach. It's just always bashing fighters and stuff. It's like, no one's going to fuck with you. Like, when it's just all, this person sucks and this person's career, you know what I mean? Like, all negative shit. Like, no one's gonna fuck with you. So, like, I've seen Danny Garcia, like I said, all this cherry picker talk. I told you from the jump, the Brandon Rios fight, I had no problem with it. For one, Brandon Rios looks focused. For two, I really believe in my heart of all heart, I believe that Brandon Rios realizes he's in that crossroads lane where this is a big opportunity and he better take his career serious. I really feel that way because, I mean, you have to know it as a fighter, you know, because here's another indication. When he got released from Top Rank or his contract had ended, no one picked him up immediately. So that kind of showed you where his career is, because imagine if Shakur Stevenson contract ended right now with Top Rank, I guarantee you someone will be trying to get at him. Do you know what I'm saying? And then Rios was kind of like in limbo for like a year plus. So I think he realizes it, and this is a big opportunity. Plus, Garcia's coming off a loss. You can't make, as much as Sean Porter's my dude, Kenny Porter's my dude, as much as I would love to see Sean Porter versus Danny Garcia, like that's a top fight. I actually would rather see Danny Garcia, Sean Porter than either of them rematching Keith Thurman. My personal opinion. You know what I mean? I'm sure they would rather go after the 2 titles, but I'm just saying my personal opinion. I like that matchup a lot. But anyway, he's coming off a loss and a layoff. He ain't fought since March. You got to understand that. You know what I mean? So I really don't have a problem with the fight. And I honestly think it's going to be a better fight. Like, here's the thing. Some people, they just put, oh, cherry picker, bullshit, easy fight, whoop. But you look at it, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Was Danny Garcia versus Robert Guerrero, was that an easy fight where it didn't look like Danny Garcia had to do anything? Like, he had a dude that kept coming forward, kept coming at him. You know what I mean? That takes work to keep someone off you. That's tough. You know what I mean? And he never even knocked Guerrero down, if I'm not mistaken, and he damn sure didn't stop him. So it's kind of interesting. Because actually, even though Guerrero in the past had proven he can box more, he kind of got away from that, and he was not really fighting much different than Brandon Rios. Hey, did the Guerrero fight happen after he fought Keith Thurman? Keith Thurman fight with Guerrero happened first, huh? Did Robert Guerrero fight Keith Thurman before he fought Danny Garcia? I think he did. I think he fought Keith Thurman first. See, so that's what I'm saying. Keith Thurman, that took some... He fought him and Aaron Martinez before he fought Danny Garcia. And those two fights back-to-back took a lot off of Keith Thurman. Off of Robert Guerrero. And Robert Guerrero, the fight was still entertaining. You know what I mean? It was still action, and Guerrero never got stopped. So, I mean, Brandon Rios, he's been stopped once, but it was to the body. And Tim Bradley's very quick, especially athletically. Garcia has slow feet, and he looks to counter. So, I think it would be a good fight, to be honest. And it's early in the year, you know what I mean? Danny Garcia, I believe, is trying to fight more than just this one fight. You know what I mean? So, I don't have a problem with the Rios fight. And the co-main event is good. Shit. Either way, I think it'll be better than that Lucas Matisse card. So, I don't know. A lot of people think Rios is going to get mowed down and stuff like that. But Rios he's strong and has a chin. So, I don't know. Danny Garcia's power has been, at 147, I don't know. I don't know if it's just going to stop you in your tracks like that. Especially for a guy with pretty much a known chin like Brandon Rios. He's gonna have to put it on, dude. But Garcia is definitely the more skilled fighter and the more methodical. But I think it'll be a good fight. Oh yeah, and shout out to my shooter, my moderator, Juventud Guerrero. He says, what about Victor Ortiz versus Devin Alexander? That's another fight on that same day, courtesy of Showtime. And I don't care what y'all talking about. That's a solid fight that's like an appetizer fight for the big show. So I like what Showtime and PBC is doing with that, because like I said, Victor Ortiz, maybe not the fighter that he once was, and Devin Alexander's been away for some time, came back and had one comeback fight, but that's a solid fight. You know what I mean? And these guys are trying to get back in the mix. The winner could arguably fight like an Amir Khan or somebody like that. You know what I mean? Luis Collazo, something like that. Victor Ortiz, Collazo rematch. Devin Alexander, Collazo. So, shit. Fuck around, they might even get Keith Thurman. Keith talking about he wants someone that's probably not even top 10. Would have been better a few years ago, but it's great undercard. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not even like it's the main event. It's like the fight everyone's waiting for, but at the same time, it's still something. It's just something to keep you, to keep us talking and motivated for the rest of the night. Someone keeps putting Thomas Top Dog Williams. I don't understand why you keep putting that. Like, what's going on with him? Y'all just keep putting Thomas Top Dog Williams. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, and then what Showtime's doing too is they have some actual good fight, like the Rios or Garcia is definitely solid. Shout out to my man Joey Spencer, who's gonna make his pro debut on that card. Make sure y'all check him out. Hopefully they streaming it or have it on Showtime Extreme or something. But yeah, Broner Figueroa. I'm really looking forward to that fight. Josh Kelly, I've been keeping my eye on him. He looks the truth. Clean cut dude, swift, skilled. I definitely been checking for him. Badu Jack, Adonis Stevenson. There's some good ones out there, people. I'm looking forward to that. There's some real good fights out there. Do you think if Tank improves his defense, he'll be unstoppable? Will he be unstoppable? I mean, no one's unstoppable like that, but I don't know. I gotta watch Tank's defense. I don't remember him getting like overly like beat down. Anything like that. So, and that Jared Swift Hurd versus what's his name? Jared Swift Hurd versus Edeslandi Lada. That's a good fight. That's a real good fight. I like that. See, because the thing I think about with when I think of Edeslandi Lada is he's so comfortable in his style and it's effective for him. He'll just keep doing that all day. He'll just keep doing that all day. So the thing is, it almost requires a person like Jared Swift Hurd that can take a punch and keep it coming to motivate Lada or force Lada into some other shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Angulo. Angulo forced Lada into more of a dogfight. So I'm gonna see if Jared Hurd can do that. But Hurd got to work on his defense. That's my dude, but he got to work on his defense because the shots at Austin Trout was landing. You don't want what's the name to land them shots. You just don't. Because Lada got that snap in his punches. Yeah, man. Hey, make sure y'all smash the like button. Boxing Ego, man, we working. I got a lot, man. I got a lot going on. Yes, I watch UFC. Boxing is my #1, but I watch UFC. And I definitely watch my 49ers. We got Jimmy G, Jimmy Garoppolo, man. Don't get it twisted. The Bay Area back, man. We got Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm happy you got that big fat ass deal. Gives me hope for the next season. Hurd is big as fuck. When I seen them standing next to each other with Lada, I was like, damn. Because you look at Canelo and Lada, they looked about the same size and shit. Jimmy G weak, you're tripping. How's he weak when he won and he's undefeated? See, Mr. J, just so y'all, if y'all never seen a hater, look at Mr. J. Look at that little stupid ass profile he got. That's just some hate. You know what I mean? People don't want to see you do well. They got to just hate. That motherfucker got $137.6 million for 5 years. And you just hating. Oh, yeah, Jimmy G weak. You might want to see a doctor or something. You got to get that hate up out your blood. I'm sure they could do some kind of transfusion or something. You know what I mean? Siphon the hate out of you. That's pure hate. Man, he's weak. He was like an understudy for Tom Brady, and he came back and saved our whole season. Average numbers. He only played like 7 games. You sound stupid. You talking about he has average numbers. He had average amount of time to fucking prove himself. And see, here's how I know you don't know shit about what you're talking about. They did a thing, and the numbers that you're talking about, average numbers. See, this is where I gotta body y'all. See, I don't have to just body people in boxing. I could body y'all in other sports and other categories. This is like Jeopardy. Anyway, this is how I know you don't know shit. You talking about he has average numbers, but they actually did a comparison for his first 5 games and the numbers he put up versus the numbers Steve Young and Joe Montana put up in their first 5 games. And guess what? Jimmy G, in his first 5 games, he put up more numbers than Joe Montana and Steve Young combined. But you just said they were average numbers. Then how did he do better than Montana and Steve Young? That's 10 games worth of stats. And Jimmy G surpassed their numbers. And though obviously Montana's a legend as well as Steve Young. Boom. So how is that average numbers? How come one of the greatest quarterbacks ever in his first 5 games didn't put up the numbers Jimmy G put up in his first 5 games, combined with Steve Young's numbers? And we were talking about 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Boom. The more you know. Anyway, I'm done. See, call me Buffy the Bum Slayer, man. Pause. I'm just killing all these bums, man. Get these bums up out of here. Any more boxing bums? I gotta get these bums up out of here. RG3 is irrelevant right now. Man, young credentials, you already know. Yeah, that's another thing. Someone said they said Belichick didn't want to trade Jimmy. They didn't. That's what they said. They said he didn't want to trade him. So that must have, he clearly seen the talent. Because why would you want to keep someone when you have Tom Brady? Timberland or Pharrell? Ooh, that's kind of hard. I'll maybe say Timberland. I think Timberland's beats, like it has its flavor to it, but they sound like totally different. Sometimes Pharrell's beats, they sound all signature, you know what I'm saying? But they both got flames. I would say Timberland. Other thing is Timberland can do other people's beats. Like he could do beats for Aaliyah or Justin Timberlake and Genuine, like R&B acts. But he also did fire beats for like Drake or Jay-Z or some shit. So I'll probably give a slight edge to Timberland because he's more versatile. He did some fire beats for like Busta Rhymes. It's just more versatility that you could you could cook up tight beats for R&B artists or what's the name? Chill for Pharrell writing movie soundtracks. Yeah, but I'm not dissing Pharrell. I respect Pharrell. Someone asked me a question. Someone asked me a question on who I think. That's what's wrong with the game. People kind of take it like if you pick, you hate the other way. Like I'm picking Canelo to beat Triple G in the rematch. That don't mean I hate Triple G. Somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. That's just who I think will win. Period. Boom. Let's do another roll call. I'm about to get out of here. Death Row. Death Row East. Believe in it. Where y'all at? Where y'all from? Memphis. UK. Chi-Town. New Jersey, El Paso, Texas, Dallas, Errol Spence, Fort Worth, Newark, New Jersey, Little Rock, Detroit, New York, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Brooklyn, Martinez. Oh yeah. I need to get somebody in probably New York and Los Angeles to help cover for like media days and stuff like that. So if you're interested, you know someone, it has to be someone with like a camera and like professional. Like we don't do, this is Boxing Ego, this is Death Row East. So it has to be professional. But if you know like a videographer, somebody who's passionate, definitely passionate about the sport, my email's in my description, as well as like my Instagram, DM, stuff like that. But yeah, we're gonna take over this online platform shit, Death Row East style. I gotta see. I haven't applied to Wilder Ortiz yet, but I kind of want to make it out. Wilder just responded to me. I don't know if I can find it, but that Chavez Jr. shit, he was laughing because I had the people mad. He just responded. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it for y'all. See, it's crazy when you get love from the fighters. They know what it is. Shout out to Spain. See, I asked about the Chavez Sr. and this is what Wilder put. Just so you know, this is his page. And he said, boy, you killed him with this one. Ooh, they mad as hell, but you know what comes next? Fuck the haters with a miserable ass. See, me and Wilder, we go through the same struggles. He said, you definitely hurt they feelings with this one. I told y'all. See, and just so y'all know, this is the real Wilder. Verified. Shout out to my dude Wilder, man. See, we used to the hate, man. I'm gonna do my streams with a fucking mask on. I'm gonna do this shit the ski mask way. Fuck y'all. We just let that hate flow, man. We let that hate come through. Let it pour through your veins. I know it hurts. It's like acid in your mouth. Yeah, man. But it's been real. Thank you guys for tuning in. I had a great time. We had a good show. More videos coming. If you guys have suggestions, ideas, let me know in the comment section. Thank you for tuning in to the live stream. We'll be back. Much love from Dallas, Scrooston, Texas. I see you. Death Row East, believe in it. Shout out to the haters. Fuck y'all. You only get half a bar. Fuck y'all. And I'm out. Peace out, y'all. Don't compare yourself to Wilder. He's a legend. You're a YouTuber. I bet you I make more money than you do. Fuck you mean. Shout out to Wilder, though. That's my dude. See, I told you the hate always comes. We just let the hate, let it pour through your body. You say you a YouTuber. Guess what? I work for myself. You work for somebody else. They tell you when to clock in. Ain't nobody tell me shit. They don't tell me when to clock in, when to clock out, when work's done, when to go to lunch. See, I could just go to Jamba Juice when I want. I don't have to ask permission or wait for some relief. So keep working your job and shut the hell up. Don't start none, won't be none. See, I try to be humble, but then the hate comes. You buy your subscribers. You saw that video, ho. Yeah, I buy subscribers. You know, I buy subscribers and then YouTube rewards me by verifying my account because it's all fake. And my paycheck is fake as well from Google. So you guys realize when you buy subscribers, that's not actually real. It's like, it's make-believe. You know what I'm saying? So who's paying for these trips to cover all these fights? I don't work. This is what I do. Bought subscribers, that's spending money. That's not earning money. So if that's all you have to do is buy subscribers, how am I getting into these fights? Hotels for weeks at a time. Back-to-back trips. Explain that. I'll give you the opportunity since you want to hate in front of people. Wait. So explain that. Oh, no answer. See, anybody could cast stones and point fingers, but then when it comes to explain, where are they now? VH1. Where is it? Ooh, I'm asking you a question. You know so much. Okay. Can't say shit. See, that's what I'm saying, y'all. As long as y'all see it, it's all good. Ego, you know they got whole channels dedicated to hating on you. Like I said, don't tell me about no other channel unless they doing better than me. If they got more subs than me and they hating, then you could tell me about it. But other than that, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Don't stop. I was just in Virgil's gym yesterday. I talked to Amir Khan. Like, I'm not worried about what these channels, no connections, no, you know what I mean? I'm having a conversation with Deontay Wilder. I don't give a fuck what these dudes is talking about. Like I said, get that hate out of your system. If that makes you feel better. You know what I mean? I gotta fight. Never mind. I don't even want to get too much into it. It's cool. But y'all know what it is. Hey, let me block this dude. Ego getting paid while niggas hating this boxing bitches. Man, you already know, man. I'm here to bring y'all the coverage. We working. See, you notice he never responded after I put him out. Put him on Front Street. I had to get him out of here. Bye-bye, Benji. You see the hate just come, man. Like I said, don't mention no other channels unless they doing better than me. That's just straight up. Straight up. Because I want y'all to do me a favor. Like, listen, if somebody is, let's say somebody is dissing me, say I bought subs or I'm fake or biased or whatever, you gotta notice this. How do you have so much time to analyze what the fuck I'm doing when you have your own channel? Why are you even mentioning me? You know what I'm saying? For attention, putting my name in your title, trying to get, you know what I mean, hits and shit and get people. And you know what's the funny thing is, a lot of people that do that, they're people I've already blocked. So you gotta understand the psyche. Just listen to it. Put all the puzzle pieces together. Just listen to the psyche. If I blocked you from being on my channel, meaning you can't comment or whatever, why are you still on my channel? Why do you continue to watch my channel? Like, I have people that I blocked over probably 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, right? And they still know my current moves and what I'm talking about in current videos. And they'll still make videos about my current videos. So you're blocked. Why would you just give up? That's like a fucking crazy ex to a girl or something, and she gets a restraining order and he still keeps showing up at her job. Like, some of y'all are creepy. You might want to get that checked out. Just straight up. But I want y'all, like I said, just like we do new media when it comes to boxing, just analyze what people say. How you got enough time to worry about what the fuck I'm doing and your channel is staying right here? You know what I mean? Your priorities aren't straight. Notice when I came in the game, I didn't care about who was in front of me, who was behind me. I just did me all the way through and kept it pushing. And we here now. Death Row East, believe in that. Fuck Benji. Death Row East, believe in it. I told you, they're like the Judas did to Jesus. They're only here to cause distractions. Shout out to y'all, man, for tuning in. Peace out.